Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We have a great show tonight. I'm going to introduce my guest. Not my guest.
You have a guest?
No, we don't have a guest. Technically, yeah. Neil,
Hey.
our voice of reason.
Whose voice of reason?
Everyone's.
Everyone's. All right.
Yeah, very reasonable person. Okay, and of course, you have our host, Heshy. Uncle Heshy.
Good girl.
Yeah. That's I introduced on my co-host.
That's it. And then, of course, our beautiful ST with a beautiful bow tie.
I decided from now on I'm doing bows, not flowers.
Oh, we're switching. Good, because you have a lot of colorful bows. Very nice. Beautiful. Thank you very much. And tonight, we're going to start our show. We have a lot to talk about. And Neil, you're going to freak out with stuff that I have to tell you, especially me and Esty. We're talking in the car over. Oh, my God. I was almost going to crash with the stuff she was telling me.
Oh, so close-minded.
Anyways, my opening quote tonight, and I want you to hear this because this is my own personal quote that I myself have been working on and made up, Neil, and I want you to enjoy.
Is that the one I got at 1 o'clock in the morning? And I answered you that.
That was a good story.
Good.
I want to tell you about that story. That was a great story. That was a great story. So my quote tonight is: "The path of justice is never wrong. To live on the road of a lie or injustice just keeps getting worse till you're lost and you will never find your way back. Justice, no matter how it hurts or how it makes you feel, should never have a blind eye turned toward it. So don't give up. Never give in. Fight even a losing battle, for at the end of the road, you will see the light and true justice will set you free." That's your Uncle Heshy's quote. Now, because I don't believe in your justice of America. I mean your justice of yourself. Truth to yourself. Truth in what you
character. Have some character.
Try your
be
best.
A mensch.
Because once you start lying to yourself, you're lost and you'll never be able to get yourself out of it. And the story that I told on the WhatsApp this week and on Facebook was a very cool story, and I want to repeat it. And even Neil responded to it. It was very cool. And the story goes like this: and once a man once asked God, "Why don't you fulfill all my wishes if you are everywhere?" So God replied, "I am like Wi-Fi, my child. I'm available everywhere, but you need to connect with me and use the correct password." So the guy said, "What's the password?" And the password is faith. You have faith in God that He will do the right thing, that He's doing the right thing. Have faith that He is running your life correctly. Yes, I have many days that
God's not a slot machine.
Well, He's not a slot machine. And the point is, by having faith that you know that whatever is happening to you, whatever is being done to you, even though I've lost my way many times and I lost my faith and I don't believe that the right thing is being done, but the truth of the matter is I'm being brought back. Now, Neil.
Whoa. No, you can't just say that.
I can say that. Only you know my secrets, and stop saying that.
No, but just understand. You see, I'm here to teach you.
Please,
give you Confucian wisdom.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead. Have you finished coughing? Go ahead.
When you say you go and you lost your way,
yes,
and then you come back, and which you've done many times, and forth, that is the way.
Right.
You didn't lose nothing. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be on the first time, all of a sudden it clicks, it works, and that's it.
Like you can never succeed if you don't try.
But you guys are wrong. I see very holy men, good people that never lose
their
faith.
Know who's holy what? Because he talks to you one way, and by the stiebel, you give him another hit of whiskey, and he talks right.
So Neil, I want to tell you a cute story. I was walking into a check cashing place. And
what is that?
A check. I went to cash. I went to buy a money order, and I was sitting there online, and I get the call in front, and the guy looks at me, he says, and he calls his friend over from the other window. I mean, I can't be in trouble. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm trying to get a money order, and he says, "You Uncle Heshy?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Your show is on tonight." I said, "Yes." And of course, I took out my card and I gave it to him.
How do they know?
I don't know. And then, wait a minute, it gets better.
How do they recognize your voice?
And this is like really the fourth or fifth person I bumped into. They said, "Neil has a brilliant idea." I says, "Oh no, what?" your idea of COD payments for holy men is a cool idea. You want somebody to give you a blessing and it comes through, sure. We'll give you a donation. We'll give you pastor or priest or evangelist or rabbi, COD. We produce the money and we'll give you the money once the miracle or blessing comes true.
Right.
And
They'll never go for
and
it.
then I asked you, Neil, I said to you, what happens if I, like everybody's story, the famous story with the parking spot, God give me, what happens if I just don't pay at the end? You told me what?
Who would start up with a guy that knows what he's talking about?
Right, that's connected. I agree with you.
You would never start up. Of course you would pay. You wouldn't be a minute late.
But that's a brilliant idea. People out there, you want to get a blessing, you want to go to your rabbi, you want to get something.
It's not how it
We'll
works.
pay it. Sure, that's the way it should work.
They're not doing it for money.
Sure they do. We're laughing at Esty. I want to tell you
Not
about
the real one.
So I'm talking to
Not
Esty.
the real one.
Neil, I send you all the stuff I do research on the week, and I ask you to look it over. So I asked Esty, can you look over my stuff?
It's very hard on my phone.
Oh, really?
No, I'm serious.
So Esty doesn't even look at my material. So I asked Esty today. I said, Esty, did you look over my stuff? No, I can't bother with it because I'm not into politics. I said, you're not into politics, Esty. Oh, do you know what July 4th is? She says, yeah, it's a holiday. I said, what a holiday, Esty?
I don't know, July 4th.
It gets better. Do you know what the Revolutionary War is?
I think I know what it is. It was some war in America.
Why
Why is this relevant to my life? That's what I'm not
She
getting.
didn't go to school. Now, wait a minute. Then I asked the craziest question of all, Neil.
What state is Borough Park?
No, I said, didn't you go to school? She says, no, we don't learn this in school. So then I was screaming at her, and then I stopped the car in the middle of the street, and I said, Esty, do you know what the Oklahoma bombing is? This is 20 years after the Oklahoma bombing where hundreds of our fellow citizens died. Esty, what was your answer?
No, I have no idea what it
From
is.
some white terrorist.
She has no idea what it is. I'm screaming at her. So I stopped the car. I pulled over and I saw another young girl in another car. And I said, young girl, do you know what the Oklahoma bombing is?
She said, what?
What?
No, I'm telling you, who can? Like, why would I think of something 30 years
she
ago?
say?
So the girl says, when was this? So the producer is sitting in the car and he knew the answer. He says, oh, it was over 20 years ago. Oh, that was before my time. Why should I bother with it? And then her and Esty are celebrating how I'm stupid. So I asked her a question. I
Not
said,
how you're stupid, as how you expect everyone to know what you know when there's so many things you don't know that I do know.
No, but in other words.
so wait a minute,
He has a good memory. That's his
I
talent.
have a good memory.
I have a bad memory. I remember different types of things, and you're telling me I have to think like you do. What's the point of having a politician and like a makeup artist if they have to think the same way?
Esty, who was the first general of the United States?
I don't know. I know who the first president is. That's it.
Same guy.
Who?
Same guy.
Okay, so then why would you put it in that
What's his
term?
name?
George Washington?
Thank God. So Esty, wait a minute, it gets better.
I don't think of him as a
Leave her
general.
alone.
I'm not
Don't
personalizing. I'm trying to teach you that the youth of America does not care about America.
That's not true. The youth who are into history and plan to be
Really?
history teachers will know this stuff, but regular people who have nothing to do with it, it doesn't apply to their life in any way. Why on earth would they need to know
You're wrong.
dates?
They
Stories I
come
get.
to
Wait a minute,
school.
he's-
That's what school
But
is.
so what do you do?
Social studies.
What do you do?
history.
You remember the dates for the test, and you forget it right after. He has a good memory. He has a good memory for age, dates,
No,
names.
forget about the dates. We're
But
talking
Esty-
about just the war, the name
Right,
of the
Esty,
war.
I've
what
heard the
we went
stories.
through.
When did America become America? What year?
I told you I'm not good with dates. You're asking me dates.
Neil, do I have to shoot
Wait,
myself in the
Neil-
head? I want to legalize
Yeah.
guns now.
Hold on, Neil, do you know every date like that's important?
For sure not.
My mom, she
17
remembers.
But no, this one I know.
1776.
1776. Yeah,
July
that's-
4th. That's why we haven't. So, Esty, I have a question for you. Where's the Statue of Liberty?
New York.
How many Statue of Liberties are there in the world?
I don't know one.
What? There's no other ones? I'm telling you, there's another one.
I know the France gave it to America.
Right, but but you told me in the car there was another Statue
like
of Liberty.
Vegas? Like where else do they have it?
She knows there's one in Vegas.
They have little imitations of everything.
No, but Esty, first of all, there's two more that I know of. One in France who gave it to us, so they have a
It's the
duplicate.
exact
one.
same thing. Exact same
I
lady.
think it's a little smaller one. Oh, maybe it is the same thing. I was watching.
Nobody has the Statue of Liberty. It gives us a gift. They didn't like make a ton of copies and give it out to everyone.
No, it actually made one in France. Yes, there's a duplicate one in France.
It's not exactly the same.
It's not.
Okay, so I love how you think, oh, hey, if you're not informed in the areas I'm informed, then you must be an idiot.
No,
He's not informed in my areas.
No. So you're both going off and you're not hearing each other.
But I'm hearing.
The reality is, it's not about remembering a certain date or a certain this. We live in a country. It happens to be a very young country. Look, we just celebrated Passover. We're talking about 2,000 years ago, some of our history, what happened, this, that.
You think I know the date of that?
You would think, no, you don't have to know, but you know the story.
Yep.
So the same thing here. I think at least if they don't know dates exactly when, but they should know the story.
I know the stories.
Neil, July 4th?
Understood.
Now, Esky, what is National Pot Day?
420.
That she knows.
Oh, by the way, guys, today is National Pot Day.
She knows
So
National
go for
Pot
it.
Day.
Today?
420 means like pot, and today is 420. It's
But
brilliant.
she doesn't know July 4th.
Because it's not relevant. Unless it happened in today's day when I was an adult, I don't know about it.
Neil, you can't hold that
No,
smile.
I want to understand why.
You think most people my age know it?
Stop. What are you attacking? Relax.
Okay.
Do you not understand the value of knowing the history of things? Forget about our country, of things that are unique, that are different, that you don't see every day. You don't understand that, like you ever see these guys by the auctions when they're buying certain things, antiques or what have you, and they want to hear the story behind
the story behind the gun.
Like, let me hear.
Right.
Like who had it, when did it go, what did it do? Because it's something you like. You really, if you would appreciate America for how good they really are to us.
Oh, I don't. That I don't care about.
No. What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care.
Okay, but that makes you the whole.
But I appreciate the story.
But that makes you the
I
whole.
appreciate the story.
Hold on, I would like
people who lost. For example, Esty, you know the famous story. There's a famous. I mean, there's
Boston
no way.
Tea Party.
Okay, thank God. But that's not the reason why the war started. It started for something else. But I want to ask you a question.
Texas?
There was a famous guy who said the famous line in the whole world. Everybody knows this. The British are coming. The British are coming.
No, I don't know. I know the term, but I've never heard John Jameson. Like, why would I memorize his name? I barely remember my friends' names. I should remember their names.
It's a famous poem that even.
But I
know. She knows the saying.
Of course,
I don't remember names and dates. What part aren't you getting? My brain is not capable of remembering dates and names.
The ride of Paul Revere? Paul Revere, who went around screaming, the British are coming?
Like now you get it.
In front of my head. No.
Wow. Okay.
No, you know he's judging us. You have a great memory. ESFP, right? Great memory.
To do with his
not memory. These are factual. For example, I have a question for you. Since it was before your time, do you know that when the Israelites came out of Egypt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody split the sea, right? Do you remember his name?
God, Moses. Oh, Yehuda.
Thank God you said Moses. Thank God that was the second thing, but you got it. Now he split the sea. My question is,
I know who Clara Barton is. Basically, let me tell you this. Basically, I didn't really pay attention in school. When I got older, I read books, so I know who Clara Barton is. I read her entire story. Nellie Bly, she's a reporter. Like I know all these stories that I was able to read up as an adult.
How about Martin Luther King? Who is he?
Someone who made slavery bad. I mean, he spoke out against. No, I know what he did. He spoke out against, black people being put in the back of the bus. He wanted equal rights.
What color was he?
He was black too.
Thank God. Thank God you know that.
I know anything that applies in my life to this day. Anything I read.
Heshy,
I'm being upset. These are
no, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. I don't have a memory.
Not listening, because I want to add something to this. Every yeshiva, Orthodox yeshiva in Brooklyn, besides maybe one or two.
Don't teach this.
You can walk in there and ask these questions, and they'll all look at you like you came from Mars.
I don't believe that.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
My brother, his school. Wait, hold on.
Make a bet.
I make your bet.
No problem.
They
I want in
have
on
the
this.
books. They are taught from the youth. July 4th.
They don't even teach English. My brother would not know math. Guys. My brother went to a really religious yeshiva.
You have to teach English till 8th grade.
Nobody listens. Okay, my brother, right?
Please.
Either way, my brother went to really religious yeshiva. The only way he knows math is my mother taught it to him. They didn't teach it. They taught basics like 1 plus
But
1, fractions, all
I
that.
thought that's one of the things they do teach is
Right.
math.
They
and
do,
Math
but only a
and
very
English.
basic.
They have to teach math and English.
But very
But
basic.
they're no good. I tell you. My somebody showed me. I was in a store and online.
Anyways, everybody, we're 15 minutes into the
there's
show.
nothing-
We have to mention that you are listening to
All
what
right,
show?
yeah, I
Esty?
wanted to say, if anybody can call in on this matter and maybe, say
What
that
is the matter?
not everybody knows all these things like dates and everybody
Like
has
July
different
4th.
July 4th, I know, because it's current.
In
And
other
even
words,
that.
not everyone knows American history.
Does
In other
everybody
words,
have a
my
memory to remember
parents-
each one?
My parents went to public school, when they were younger, through 8th grade, and in those days, this is what you actually
I want
learned.
to ask a dumb.
My parents know all of
Okay,
this.
so I want me too. I want to ask you a dumb question, Esty. A dumb, really, and I
In
really
your
want.
opinion, got it.
My opinion. I want to cut my wrist if you get this answer wrong.
Okay, I gotta get it wrong now.
How many colonies were there in America when we started?
13?
Thank God. Thank you, Egot.
No, I just remember that randomly. It's so irrelevant. It's ridiculous how irrelevant it is. Who cares?
That we had 13 states.
Why is the number important? You're good at numbers, so you're like making a whole big deal out of it because that's your quality. Imagine I said the only way to be smart is to know, psychology inside out.
Esty, I have a question for you. Do you know that there's something called the Constitution?
Yes.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
stop,
So the
stop.
Constitution
No,
is
I
the
know what it is. Something law. It's just not relevant.
Something like the
He's
Constitution.
asking me these questions that to him are so important. To me, they're just
because
stupid and a
every
waste
kid
of time.
Every kid in school has to know the Constitution.
Exactly, and then we forget it as soon as we pass.
But then you won't become a lawyer or you won't
I'm
follow
not
the
planning
laws.
to. People who want to become lawyers, that's what they will remember. Why? Because it's their area of expertise. I remember what's for me. If everybody remembered the same things, there wouldn't be. There's only so much you can remember, right? You remember dates and names. If everybody
I don't
had that,
remember
then nothing else would.
But I think it would be good enough. I'm telling you, if people would know the history.
The history,
The
yes, so we don't repeat our
stories.
mistakes. The stories, I know.
The whole,
So if I don't know they shouted the British are coming, it's not going to really affect my life.
By the way, isn't April 20th the day of Hitler's birthday?
And I did not know
Or
that.
was that April 1st?
Oh, that sucks. Okay, wait, let me mention. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. If you can call in and defend me, reach us at 718-303-9090.
And if you call it to defend, I am going to scream at you.
Okay, but you'd still be wrong. Anyways, we are on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You should go to Facebook, Just Enough Heshy, and hashtag Twitter, Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube right now if you want to see how we yell at each other with our fists. You can go to Just Enough Heshy. It's the first video. It'll pop up. You can also advertise with us or just shoot us an email at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Heshy is Heshy. Again, you can call in at 718-303-9090.
Some advertisers?
Oh, wait. Oh.
The phones are ringing. He sees that. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Holy wow. Okay, advertisers, right. We have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. If you would like some, you can go to blpremiumesig.com and call Mikey at 561-239-5941. If you're looking for a personal trainer this summer, I'm actually thinking of doing that, going to
Go
him.
ahead. Step on it.
Yeah, okay. You can reach Jesse Lefkowitz at 16th and 48th. You can also reach him at 347-816-5207. Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits, and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, and free consultation.
And we remember the laws, and we will make sure to help you with all the regulations and laws because we learn it properly in school and classes to make sure
No,
that
you took special classes for this,
No, we don't. No, you learn it. You study it, and you.
So I love how if you're good at it, then all of a sudden it's important. If I'm good at it, oh yeah, this is not significant. You
Yes,
don't know half the stuff I know.
Really?
All right, so the bottom line is a shout out to my friend Marty at Quick Aid Pharmacy, 13th and 39th.
Marty, you're a good man for that pizza last week. I can use it
thank
again.
you.
Even
Thank
though my
you.
partner Penny was screaming at me that I'm getting fat eating.
But you're the man.
That's right.
You're the
Okay, I'm gonna
man.
take a random phone call.
Take
Yeah.
a call, line 3,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking
Hello,
for
you're
you.
on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Yeah, hi.
Turn off your radio.
My radio's off. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say that Heshy, calm down. Take a joint. It's 4:20 today. Don't beat up Esty so much today. Normally I'm on your side, but calm down. I got 2 facts that you don't know. The Statue of Liberty is not in New York. It's in New Jersey.
It is on. It's between the border, but New York controls it.
Okay. And another thing is, Paul Revere did not say the British are coming. He said the others are coming because back then everyone was British.
Thank you so much, caller Heshy. We can't remember everything. You must be a complete idiot if you can't remember one thing.
No.
Bless you, Yitzi. Bless you. Yeah.
Yes, Heshy, you know everything.
I know everything. I remember reading the poem of Longfellow.
He'll fight
The poem
forever.
is not history.
He'll fight
The poem
forever.
is a
He
poem.
remembers
It's a song.
everything.
You have to read history. It's the others are coming.
Do you know all of Shakespeare's plays, or?
All I know, Yitzi, you're telling me that. Shut off your radio, Yitzi, because I'm listening to myself again.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
But the American history, if you're living in this country, is very important. And I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, we're getting feedback.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll hang up.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for
thanks for
calling.
calling.
Yitzi,
Yeah.
I'm going to take another
Yeah,
call, but I want
take
you to know
another call.
school is very important. Education, and I think you're wrong. I'm going to check into that. The producer, check into it's the others.
So
Push
yeah,
the
let
button,
me just say
that's
this
good.
again. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call
Well,
us.
Heshy's always right.
Of course not.
No,
At
that
718.
you're not getting away.
Hold on. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? All right, so first of all, the last caller, the Statue River is in New York. All the land that they built out afterwards is in New Jersey. That was the deciding factor about 2 years ago.
Correct.
Right.
Very good. Thank you.
That's number one. First of all, American history is the utmost important because you live here. How didn't you know the Constitution, Bill of Rights? This is freedom. This is 100%. We live in America. You can study whatever you want. You have to know every bit of it.
But do
You
I have
better-
to
you
know?
better
Wait.
know
Do I
everything.
have to remember the dates and all the names?
Oh, you don't know America was free in 1776? That's pretty important.
So I have to remember a bunch of numbers that I'm bad at remembering in. I don't want to fill my brain with random numbers when I'd rather have other numbers.
You don't remember numbers? Why do you have a social security number? You got to remember this.
I do not like that I have a social security number. I feel like a puzzle or like an inmate.
You're so ignorant. I don't
No, don't.
Let's not make it
No, we're not getting it personal. We don't call Esty ignorant.
It's fine. In your opinion, maybe I'm ignorant, but you're ignorant in so many areas that I'm not. And who's to say which is better?
Everyone can think whatever they wish.
No, but our discussion today is why kids in school are not properly being educated and paying attention to the stuff that need to be important. These are very important facts, and I love you that you're.
Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because I went to yeshiva. I have a similar scenario. Because you go and you start. All your Hebrew subjects are in the morning, right? From 9 o'clock, let's say you get a 9 till 2 till 3. After studying for 6 hours, do you really want to sit through a math class or an English class?
It's true.
Well. Today the new schools, the way they do is they give you more breaks. They move you around. I know my son is in a yeshiva that is hip and religious, but they're starting to give the kids breaks. We have tutors, and they give you, and they're letting you get.
Well, let me ask you something, right? Right now, I could technically read up on all of this and know everything you know. But is it worth my time versus doing so many things that can be greater?
The information he's stating is common knowledge. The idea that you don't know it.
Common knowledge as in people talk about it, you see it in movies a lot. Like, where am I supposed to be getting this from?
All of it.
I don't want
Common knowledge is you knowing that Moshe Rabbeinu freed the Jews from Israel. That's common knowledge.
It's said every single Passover.
Christian people. Muhammad, that's common knowledge.
Yeah,
you don't know
every Passover they say it.
First president and the Declaration of Independence was signed.
No. But yeah, it's not only Esty. I'm talking about all the young. Thank you, caller, for your call. I appreciate you helping us out on this. But Esty, what he's trying to tell you is that all the people in America, it's not only America, it's other countries. Like, for example, we're screaming at the Palestinians and we're screaming at Saudi Arabia and all these other countries for not teaching the Holocaust. Why are they not? And Israel and all
the date, the names.
Do you know that there is something called the AMC, some kind of crazy?
Wait, how often do people mention Hitler? All the time. That's why everybody knows about them.
Do you know,
who mentions Paul Revere? I mean, actually, I've heard of him, but
it's mentioned every day.
I know him from
everywhere
South Park.
I go. Okay, but the point is that people tell you, but fighting Saudi Arabia, they're taking over they're taking over some kind of an ultimate fighting league, and the Jewish people, you're listening to this now, the Jewish people are fighting that the ultimate fighting league shouldn't be approved in New York City. You know why? Because the Saudi Arabians who won't approve of the Holocaust and won't teach children shouldn't be allowed to work over here. That's my point to you, Esty. You got to know history. You got to know.
Let me ask you this. Let's say someone good at quantum physics who can make like the greatest invention ever. Would you want him to waste his time learning all this history, or would you want him to actually learn science and his project so he can get good at it?
No, you have to.
He
know,
needs to know both. How will it affect his life in any way?
July 4th is not a
How will it affect his life?
July 4th is not a barbecue day. Like Memorial Day is not a day just to have a day off. You have to memory all the fallen soldiers that.
How is it important for this scientist to speak about that?
Take another
it isn't.
call, Esty.
Okay. Let's see. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Neil, help me.
Good evening, Uncle Heshy.
Good evening.
Neil.
Oh, wow. Hi, Steve.
Mm.
How are you?
Good.
Welcome back from your Passover. Hope you finished munching the Manischewitz matzahs over there.
I did.
Yeah, all right. I want to comment A, on this topic, and B, on the call that I called earlier. First of all, to the call that I called earlier, a lot of yeshivas that are hip and, with the times are not doing studying Hebrew studies for the first 6 hours of the day. They're breaking it up into subjects. So you could be having math at 9 till 9:45 in the morning, then the Chumash, and then they'll do, if there's no prayers in the class, they'll do prayers, then Chumash. And then
right, but it's what we're trying to say is that the new curriculums are being better, are being easier.
Yes.
And if you look at it, even I was reading today a liberal education that the mayor fails to keep the school vows, diversity and F by the mayor, class size F, transparency and F, parent engagement and F, special education a D, co-location space planning a deal. The kids are failing in school; they're getting D's and C's and F. So if you think it's only the yeshivas, I'm talking about a lot of kids.
No, it's not only the yeshivas. The yeshivas, a lot of them are probably may not be doing the right job.
Shalamis, I know, is a very good school.
Shalamis is a very
I went to Beis Yaakov. It's not that they were bad. It's just I hated that place, so I just never showed up.
It's not only your school, Leslie. I'm talking about all the kids.
No,
in
like
this generation.
Shalamis, I know they have,
but Steve,
it's difficult.
again, this young girl I passed today in a car randomly, and
she's religious. These things aren't important to them.
A woman,
they're in their own little world. They don't care.
You don't pay attention to the news? Do you know there was?
Wait, I don't listen to radio. I don't watch TV. Where am I getting the news from? I don't read papers, except maybe the Jewish press, which I just look at the comics.
What does that mean? You're not a.
Why is it important to me? Why is it important?
You live in your own world. You don't listen to news at all.
Did you not hear about my fake city? I live in my own world.
Oh, jeez.
Uncle Heshy, my next comment is, I studied and I took my history regions. You know what? You can do it. You can shove it all. The most important thing is you teach your skills to live, survive, and earn money. That's all they should be teaching.
It's true.
A smattering of history. Who cares? As long as we can barbecue in July 4th, do I really care?
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, I got to tell you
about the fallen soldiers. I don't got to worry about Paul Revere, every last thing, the issue with Churchill.
No, but it would be nice if you had a basic understanding and knowledge of the history.
Do you know how much, Steve, do you know how much money America makes on tourism and showing that it's historic sites, it's historic parks?
If that's your job description, go for it.
We sell that, right?
Changing our first language to Chinese soon anyways.
No, but do you know that America makes billions of dollars on international tourism of people coming to this country to show the. Can I have a question? Did you ever go to Israel?
Of course, yeah.
So you float around Israel, and you go to what? The holy graves, the fancy historic places like Jesus' grave, and the Kotel, and all these other places.
Because it matters to them.
Why does it matter? Don't you?
Because it's part of our religion, not our 10-year heritage.
But Israel doesn't preach it as a religion. Israel preaches it to the Christians, to the Muslims, to the Africans, to the Europeans. They're making money on tourism.
I went to Italy. I went to Austria. Fine. I go to the sites. I pull up my guidebook where I should be going in Austria, and I go.
Do you know what I read today? Do you know that our Secretary of Defense or Secretary somebody said made a comment that the Polish are responsible for the Nazi crimes as well, and the Polish minister now is getting upset that, oh my God, we weren't responsible for Nazism. You understand that 60 years later, the Polish pigs are telling us that they're not responsible for letting the Jews go into concentration camps and being shipped out. You know why? Because you idiots don't
They
want to
couldn't
learn.
fight them. They didn't have
What do you
enough
mean?
power.
The Polish people themselves put up gangs and gave us over. We are going to change.
They were scared,
You're
probably.
forgetting history because you don't want to learn history. The reason why
Yeah, that's your job.
the reason why America had to be freed. The reason why America had to be freed is because when America fought for liberty, France fought for liberty, and many other nations decided to learn from America. Even though I don't like America's basic idealism of communism, because basically we are under communist rule, but the idea of liberty, of freedom, do you know that it's just sickening that you people don't want to learn about history? Unacceptable.
You still haven't given me one reason why it's
I
worthwhile.
just gave you a reason.
So that what?
Everything. Because every one of our elected officials are sold out of this country.
Okay.
So
That we know. Next, Steve, we love you for your call. Stay in tune. We love you. Thank you. And
I hope you enjoyed Florida and the sun, all right?
I will, Bob.
They brought us something back with you instead of being selfish.
I know it's cold. They won't let me put on the heat in the studio. I'm frozen. I'm wearing a sweater today. Thank you.
All right. And get
Okay, thank you.
What hat back on.
You got it.
Yeah.
ST.
Yeah, again, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. Heshy spelled Heshy. You can get us on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And you can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hi, how you doing?
How you
going?
doing?
Yeah, first of all, great show. I listen to it every single night. Great show.
Thank you.
But I have to agree on this one. I have to agree with Hesty. Because whatever is not practical, you don't need to know. And we live in a practical world. If it's not practical, not relevant to my life right now, I don't have to know it. That is my opinion.
But I have a question for you. Do you work?
No, not really. I'm unemployed.
Okay, when you were working, right? Did you get off on July 4th?
Yes, but I know you're going to say to me, so I should know about July 4th. My response is that
Free holiday, who cares?
Did you hear that answer? Did you hear that answer? Free holiday, who cares?
Why? It's fun, and why do I have to make everything serious and negative and scary?
Why do you need July 4th to take off? Why don't you take off on April 20th, National Pot Day?
It'd be great. Oh my God, we gotta make that a holiday.
Neil, help me, Neil. Please, I'm going to kill myself.
Kill
I
yourself.
know July 4th, and I'll be totally fine with life.
Like, how is it? Okay, let's say, right, Chaim. Right, so Chaim does not know what July 4th is. So what's going to happen? Once
He
upon a
knows.
time, there was a boy named Chaim. He didn't know what it was, and then what? Bad things happen? It doesn't matter. Nothing bad happens if you don't know it.
Actually, if your doctor doesn't know about Paul and all those people, but he does know that you need 2 points this amount of ounces for that medicine, and since your mom has them, that's what he needs to know.
So that was a very good thing. And I have a question for you. You know, when every doctor becomes a doctor, he has to take the Hippocratic Oath?
Yes, stay cautious, but
Why? Why do they have to take the Hippocratic Oath? They learn to be a doctor. They give the medicine. Why do they need to take any oath of anything? They're stupid little doctors.
No,
They
have
only give
lives.
out medicine. What do you mean? Why do they have to take any oath? Who are you to take an
Lives
oath?
depend on them.
Right, so I'm very nice. They're responsible. What's a Hippocratic Oath? That I will be honorable to be a doctor. I don't have to be honorable because half the doctors are robbing and stealing anyways today.
They take the test as part of the college degree. You cannot leave college unless you've taken the test in history, English, etc. You don't really need to know. You don't need to know those things.
Sure, Hippocratic Oath is a historical fact. It's a thing that teaches you to go back.
What's your point?
The point is, he's telling me that you don't have to know about history. He's telling me doctor only have to know to give
I
medicine.
just
No.
want to understand why everyone in this conversation is making believe that, to know history, you got to put in so much time and effort and work.
It's
I
not.
mean, it's not like, my God, it's not the Talmud.
Thank you, Kyle,
it's
for your call.
it's history. It's a 200-year history.
Next call.
Come on.
It's not going into the saying not to study it. You know, if you're a test, you're done with it.
All I know, Chaim, is if you want to go find the Statue of Liberty, you know that you have to find one in New York, one in Paris, France,
One in New Jersey.
and one in Vegas, whatever.
If I took a device and I put it to your face now, I meant to get all the things that you know about history. Would that change a lot of your life? Would you start going crazy? Would you go insane? No, it wouldn't matter. You're on the show. You go to your job. You have to know what you do for your job, whatever your job is, whatever a job person does. They have to sit there and know how to. whatever
No,
they
when
do.
you do your job, you have to do research and you have to see why somebody else did something. You have to learn how they built a bridge. And I'm going to talk about that. Esty, thank you for your call, Chaim. For example, do you know that Wilbur and Orville Wright, and you guys can call on this. You know who they are, Esty? Please tell me you know who Wilbur and Orville Wright is. Neil, if you don't hit me right now and beat the hell out of me, she doesn't know who Wilbur and Orville Wright is.
Is it like 10 years ago?
10 years ago, Esty, the Wright brothers.
Oh, the Wright brothers who made flying?
Thank God.
Sorry, you said their first name. That's probably where I got
Okay.
confused. The Wright brothers, I brought them up to you before.
So
the Wright brothers, nobody
Do
believes
you
in them.
know-
They made things
do you
flying.
know- Do you know why the Wright brothers went into the airline business to make a plane? Their father gave them a fake helicopter, and they blew it up in the air. And what they did was they loved it so much as little kids that they created a real version of it, and it never worked. And they fought and worked on it till they got it correctly. And that is history. We learn from them that they learned something to make it
I'm
work.
totally behind the Wright brothers because people like you didn't believe in them, and then they did great things.
Okay, Esty, take another caller, please.
Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello?
Yeah, hi Eva, how you doing?
Okay. I just want to make one point. I don't remember who said this, maybe Voltaire or one of the philosophers, but he said if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. If you don't know history, you're going to repeat the same mistakes. Yeah, it's true. If I was in politics, it would completely matter.
Oh, but you're not,
It
Esty.
matters. How could you not repeat it if you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah, but I'm not a country. I'm not fighting wars. I don't need to know this. I mean, I do. I know the story.
You want to make sure your congressman is doing what's supposed to be done?
I don't know anything about politics. I don't involve my life in it.
Excusing you vote?
Nope.
Well,
You don't get it. Why do you think kids aren't interested in voting? It doesn't. Not everybody is into politics. Some people just don't care. It's like you don't know who the Lakers won 10-7. How could you not know that? I'm just not interested in sports or politics. I'm interested in psychology. I'm interested in art. I'm more the artsy type. It
God.
doesn't seem fair that I have to be into what you're into in order to be considered smart. That's a memory type of smartness.
By the way,
no, it's not. Knowledge is not memory. Knowledge is a memory. You know something. You memorize. It's one thing to memorize, and it's another thing to know it. It's not the same thing.
beautiful.
I know
Eva.
the stories. I just don't know the dates.
Esty, beautiful. Esty, you didn't even know what the Revolutionary War was. What is the Revolutionary War?
I don't know if you tell me the context. I'll remember the
War
story.
of Independence. That's how we broke away from.
There was more than one war.
of independence.
No, there was little battles. There were different things that
Happens to
happened.
be this one. Even though she did it by mistake, there was a second war, the War of 1812, where the British did come back to get us.
What is it? The Battle of Gettysburg. There was like so many different
The
battles.
Battle of
This from
Gettysburg is the Civil War.
Right. I'm just saying.
Thank
there were
God you
different.
caught me on that one, Esty.
The War of 1812 was part of the Napoleonic Wars in Europe. The British came to the New World because France was in Canada then.
No, but the Americans had a war of 1812
I know.
where we attacked Canada and we wanted to take over Canada, but the British came and actually I think they actually did get into Washington and they burnt the White House.
Right, but you know why? You know why the Americans got into the War of 1812? Because there was something called impressment of seamen. They used to take people and say, "Hey, you're British. Come on my ship."
Wow.
They needed seminal fodder.
You see, Esty, that's how you learn about stuff like this.
Okay, let's say I know Greek mythology. Why? It interests me.
Okay, thank you, Eva, for your call. Thank you. By the way, everybody, forget that you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy show because I'm forgetting about it right now. But Esty, do you know that I sent Esty an email that I took a personality test
All right.
and it came back? Esty was in shock that I'm an ESPY.
You're an ESFP. Wow.
ESFP. ESFP is like the highest intellectual personality.
I actually think
It's dumb as she said. Did she just say dumb?
No. They have a
Yeah.
good memory. Everybody has their place in
It's not a
life.
good memory,
They have good memory. They're
No,
not.
it says
It's more like
than that.
life skills. They're not as good at.
No. It says that we're
Everybody
good.
has their skills. They're
No,
not as good at life.
Esty, read it correctly, Esty. What is an ESPY?
Oh, by the way, every single one is positive when they read it, but I know the different flaws of each personality type.
But Esty, didn't it say that I am also kind and considerate?
You're kind, considerate, and you love being the center. You're like the class clown, right? And that's good. That's your purpose in life. And memory, that is your skill, and it's a great skill, but it's more like logical thinking isn't your forte. It's more remembering things. Like you can remember everybody's birthday, stories, all these crazy things.
I
but
want to see your personality trait.
I'm only one letter different than you.
Okay, what are you?
I'm an ENFP. I'm more dreamy than you.
Dreaming. So you dream about that
I
fake
hate
city.
reality. Why would I want to be in reality? What is so great here?
I'll tell you
Miserable,
what
sad.
is.
I'm just going to ignore it.
So why don't you do what the girl did the other day? She went and jumped off the George Washington Bridge.
Why would I do that?
Right, exactly.
I have reality. I have a whole reality in my head that is so much more fun than down here with this misery and pain.
Take another call and tell them
So, yeah.
about your reality.
So yeah, this is a Just Enough Heshy show. You can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy. Hello?
Hello. Hi guys, how you doing tonight?
Hello,
Hey,
how
Mitch.
you doing, Mitch?
Yeah, great. Listen, I want to defend Esty.
Thank you.
I think really seriously about defend her. First of all, coming from a guy who went through the entire educational deal, the college, the master's, whole deal, okay? Do you know what I got out of 6.5 years of education and all that good stuff? About $25,000-$30,000 in the hole. Because let me tell you something. When it comes to these things, memorization and book smart gets you nowhere in this world. It's what you're thinking, and it's what your interests are. You know, Esty says that she's artsy and she likes that stuff. She probably can tell me more about Picasso, things like that, than you can, Heshy. It's
No,
not
incorrect, Mitch. Incorrect. History, for example, even in the artsy field, you have the Blue Period, Picasso, Renoir, Michelangelo. You got to learn about these things, and it's not only American history.
So now art is also a qualification for being smart.
That's right. Art is also
So
qualification.
everyone has to know everything and study all the time. Some
Esty,
people just don't
Esty,
care.
You want to be, some people who just want to be like in the gutter in the streets, they don't want to learn about better things. Don't you want to be people in the army? Okay, these guys in the military, they have to be book smart. They have to learn how to be precise. People in the government, not only people in the government, even a baker behind the stove has to learn how to read a book and learn about history of how the cooking began. Maybe.
Yeah.
In all due respect, you're drinking the old Kool-Aid, and I'll tell you why. My father, God bless his soul, was a World War II vet. 18, 19-year-old kid out of the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. Very sheltered, Jewish kid, whatever. He really didn't know much about the world. He didn't see anything in the world. Then he suddenly was fighting in the Pacific. Book smart is baloney. Let me give you a little trivia as far as history.
I'm not asking you to be book smart. I'm asking you
book
to be
smart. I've read
knowledgeable.
tons of
No,
books.
let me give you something. All right, you talk about the Constitution, whatever. Can you tell me logically how old basically independence and the idea of freedom in this country is? How many years? In other words, when did we actually get total freedom in this country?
Well, the truth of the matter is, I think the real Constitution or the real signing or whatever, the signing of the Declaration was 1770, but I think it was 1784 when we actually were independent.
Well, actually, Heshy, did you know that the answer
Or
is actually-
1791, one of them. Or 1780.
The answer, believe in that, is 1920. You know why?
Oh,
You know
gosh.
what happened in 1920?
What happened, Neil? Listen to this.
1920 is when women got to vote. We're less than 100 years of being free. You know that?
Oh, you don't know that, Hershey? Oh, because when it comes to women, you don't give it.
I know about, first of all, I do know about the Women's Voting Act, and I forgot what it's called. It was called, what
You
was it
forgot?
called?
You must be an idiot. You forgot. Oh, no, it's over. You are the dumbest person ever.
First of all, it wasn't
Still
1920.
fighting it anyway.
It was 19. I forgot what it's called. There was a.
He forgot.
there is-
Doesn't that make him like the
I
biggest
didn't
idiot
forget.
ever?
I didn't forget there is a law, and when the women did fight to vote, it was 1904 or 1914 that when they started.
Correct, Ash.
It's what?
1920. Look it up. It's in the Constitution.
I got that, but it actually passed. But I forgot what it is. But the women, it was called something that the women were fighting for. There's a
Suffrage?
Suffrage. It's called suffrage, and the women fought for it for many years till it passed.
And do you know that?
I know that from friends.
And may I
by the
ask you
way.
a question? When did the black people really get the right to vote? Not
They didn't
18.
get the vote. They didn't get the vote officially, really, till 1866.
No, 1964. I think there was a law passed.
No, that was when. No, that was due to the Jim Crow laws.
Right.
But the actually African Americans actually voted. Believe it
Right.
or
The
not.
Emancipation Act, freeing the slaves and making them into citizens. Right.
Believe it or not, at one time they were 3/5 people according to the Constitution. But I can tell you one thing, Heshy, and I think this is very, very important. Listen, I know the information. I went to school. I did all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is, much like FD and her interest in different things, whatever, I can tell you that I'd rather talk about the New York Rangers than I do about the Constitution. There's nothing against the fact that
Well,
I'm not.
Mitch, I like Mitch, thank you for your call. First of all, I like the Rangers. And by the way, the Yankees are 6-6. So I love the Yankees. But Mitch, I want to give you a quote before we go on. It was one of my quotes. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm sorry, my son. That's the way it is. If you don't know the past, the future is never going to come properly. You got to know the past. You've got to not study it deeply, but you got to know where you came from. You got to know who
I
gave
know a little
birth
bit.
to
I just
you.
don't remember everything.
Esty, take another call, Esty, before
Yeah,
we... Okay, go ahead.
this is the Just Enough Heshy show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good
Hi.
evening. Hello,
Hi.
hello. How are you?
Cuz, how are you? Neil?
Yeah.
See, Neil, you're quiet.
Hello.
They're coming
Yeah.
after you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I was on the line when you started with education. Now you're in the world politics.
Okay, you can bring back the topic.
But I like one thing Cuz said. It's Hitler's birthday. To hell with him. He's in hell.
Yes, yes.
But I don't want to get involved. It's nice to hear. I just got back to New York. I love listening to you. I came on the line when you were talking about education. Now we're talking politics.
We're
I
not-
love the flow of the show. It's so spontaneous.
Yeah.
And hey, Cuz, you're not the class clown. You got a radio show. They're your assistants.
Thank
I
you.
love Esty. I love Neil. I love Gary. And the other guy who answers the phone.
Wow.
This is a great show, guys.
Thank
Shalom.
you. Thank you.
Shalom.
Shalom, Peter.
Thank you.
See, Neil, he only came to talk to you, not to me. But it's okay,
But
Peter.
by the way, I know someone who was about 28 years old who couldn't read. He went to Satmar, really religious school. He could not read street signs.
and
like on
maybe he
and
was
by the way,
dyslexic.
No, he was actually so happy when the texting came out where you can talk. So he would talk it into his phone because he didn't know how to text. It
Esty,
happens.
that happens a lot in many of the public schools as well, that they don't know how to spell and learn, and that's a problem today. And you're not going to get a good job if you don't know about history, and if you don't know about your job, and if you don't know
I
about
got a
legal
great
stuff.
job from that.
You got to okay, Esty, push another button.
So, yeah,
Esty.
let me
Everybody
just
wants
hold
to call. Go
I
ahead.
just want to say, if you want to get us on Facebook, go to Just Enough Heshy. Also, hashtag Just Enough Heshy on Twitter. We're live on YouTube, and you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can call in at 718-303-9090. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy. Hello.
Hello?
Hi. Russell.
Yes, this is Russell. Good evening. How you doing, Uncle Heshy? You have a great show as usual. I love the topic.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you. Thank you.
History is very important, number one. For human beings, if we didn't know our history, how would we know what we're about overall as human beings? Number two, God forbid, when our loved ones pass away, when you look at their pictures, et cetera, that's history, to go back in time to see how they, like I said, how they treated you, et cetera, et cetera. And number three, for me, as far as my Afro-Americans, people that would, the adventures that they made that came from their minds, like the first heart surgeon, the atlas, how to go east, north, west, and south. They invented the bicycle, the candy, the dryer, so many things that came from different minds of not only Afro-Americans, all kind of people. So history is so very important, and we share it, and you share it down to your children and their children. History is very important.
Hold on. When did Columbus come to America? Do you know that one?
That was 1492, but remember, he was lost.
So you know, right. But you know all the dates of everything?
No. Nobody knows all the dates of anything.
Nobody knows all the
Nobody
dates
knows-
of everything.
but
That's exactly my point.
Russell-
I know the stories, just
Russell,
not the dates.
Russell, you basically know when the revolution was.
Like I said,
I probably forgot that, Uncle Heshy, because you're catching me off guard right now.
Got
So
you.
I'm a very honest person. I probably forgot that. But like I said, the bottom line, I just made my point. History is very important.
Very important,
Okay?
Russell.
That's the bottom. That's
You
the
are
bottom line
right,
there.
Russell, and I want you to know that's how we learn from our mistakes. That's
Of
how we
course.
teach our children what this country is
And
about
that's how
and
we
what the
know
world
where
is
we
about.
came from.
Do you know that Syria last year gassed 1,400 people in thing? We have to learn from the Vietnam War that these are unacceptable weapons.
Wait, what about old people, right? Someone who's like 80 years old, if they don't remember, that's bad. Like,
It's not that they don't remember.
they don't have a good memory.
But they're the ones who got you to this
Right, but
point.
why can you excuse them for not remembering the dates, but you can't excuse me for it?
They're teaching you to remember it for
But-
them, to help
I'll
them.
say it-
I'm
I'll
not
say
that
one
person.
more-
Next
I'll-
person. Go on.
I have one more last thing to say. Like I said, when I first prefaced my conversation, if we don't know history, then we wouldn't know where we came from, and that's the bottom line.
That's right,
Keep it
Russell.
short.
Just like
great show.
drugs, you know that. Thank you, Russell. Because just like Sigmund Freud, the great psychiatrist, Esty, one of your peoples, the guy used to give out cocaine to people. He used to use
They used to
cocaine.
use Molly to help people.
And
I believe it works.
what did we learn? No, cocaine was not good.
Molly
And
cures
it does
depression.
not cure depression.
I know someone who's
Well, you know, people are doing marijuana, and I'm going to read you marijuana stories. Do you know that there was 165 sicknesses from marijuana in the last couple of weeks? The synthetic marijuana.
Synthetic marijuana is bad for you. Everybody knows it can kill you.
But you put rat poison
right,
in
but
there.
that's-
What stops
what
you
is
from putting rat poison in regular
What
marijuana?
have we been saying for forever? Governmental medication like oxycodone, even Advil, all these things are way worse for you than weed. So yes, when they put in government-made marijuana, which is called spice, a lot of times,
160.
then of course they're gonna die.
Esty,
It's government-made. It's not natural.
Esty, 160 hospitalizations related to synthetic marijuana.
That the government
New York State
produces.
authorities have issued a health alert. No, they don't. Governor Cuomo said Friday morning.
How is it legal? That they
9
allow.
days.
It's made synthetically, and it's worse for you. It kills people. Weed has never killed a single
so
person.
now let's go to drug facts of marijuana that I found. Marijuana refers to dried leaves, flowers, stems, seeds from hemp. Legalization of medical marijuana for medical use or adult recreational use is growing number. Okay, this is terrible.
Why?
How do people
It's
use
better than
marijuana?
alcohol.
People smoke and handle marijuana extracts, marijuana, THC, hash oil. These shattered.
The CNN special on
I'm
it?
trying to get to that. How does marijuana affect the brain? Marijuana has both short and long-term effects on the brain. Short-term effects, where a person smokes marijuana, THC quickly passes through the lungs, and slowly when a person eats or drinks,
Oh, could you
TH
shut
wait
up
a minute, THC acts.
Did you hear the studies that were done in Israel? CNN last night
Yeah,
ran 3-hour special with Dr. Gupta.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 of the hours were brand new.
Yeah.
One of them was an old one
Okay.
on the benefits of marijuana,
And I
how
wanna-
it's not snake oil, how it's
Hold
not
on. Not only
this.
is it snake oil. Can I just tell you something? First of all, it
Two
all tastes.
places in Colorado.
Hold on.
One of them doing 9 million, one 10 million. One is doing edibles, one is selling.
But I
it.
want to read something from the FDA, okay? And I want to read something.
The
This is
government
Yeah, you trust
knows
them?
nothing
the
about
causes,
marijuana.
the high that users feel, and other clues. Listen, altered senses. Altered sense of time, changes in mood, impaired body movement, difficulty
shut
with
up.
thinking and problem solving.
Who
No, I'm
cares?
gonna have to get him off the air. You gotta get him off
One
the
minute,
air.
impaired memory.
You're
Wait a minute, it
talking
gets
like
better.
a Nazi.
Yeah, let's
Wait
take
a
a phone
minute,
call.
Nazi. A Nazi. Wait a minute.
Socialist.
Marijuana
communist.
also affects brain development. When marijuana users begin using as teenagers, the drug may reduce the thinking, memory, learning functions. Esty,
Nice.
learning functions because you've been using marijuana since a kid.
Actually, no. I started at 20, so
Yeah,
that's not a
that's
thing.
why you forgot everything. And affects how the
Okay.
brain builds, connects between the areas necessary for these marijuana effects on these abilities may have long-term. Listen to this one. For example, a study showed that people who started smoking marijuana heavily in their teens and have an ongoing
Yeah,
cannabis
I'm not
use
pro it. You got to be over 18 for sure.
disorder lost an average of 8 IQ points between the ages of 13 and 38.
Nice.
The lost mental the lost mental abilities did not fully return to those who quit marijuana as adults.
Nice.
Those who started smoking marijuana as adults did not show notable IQ
You see, they're
decline.
chilling.
Excuse me. What percentage of people lost from their IQ?
They lost between
No. I didn't ask you how much they lost. I asked you what percentage of smokers lost from their IQ number.
It doesn't say.
You see that? There was one yo-yo there who lost his little IQ number.
So yeah.
Who never had it to begin with, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's who they use.
Yeah, you're listening to the
Wait a minute,
Justin
I can't
Heshy
believe
show.
that's
I
what
just
you spent
okay.
your
Wait a
time
minute. Wait a
doing.
minute. I want to just
Reading
read
about the
before-
bad of marijuana.
one more thing. Can I say?
Colorado.
Wait a minute,
Did
Colorado-
you see the studies?
Do you
man?
know that 60 people were arrested? But let me
Do
just.
you know how many people took their children there? They moved.
Stupid.
Right, that's why the kids stopped getting seizures.
Right.
Right?
Stop getting seizures.
Right. They don't smoke it, by the way. They use the oil.
Oil.
from it.
Okay, but let me just tell you, breathing,
Yeah.
physical effects.
400 families.
Marijuana smoke irritates the lungs, and frequent marijuana smokers can have the same breathing problems that tobacco smokers use. These problems include daily cough, Neil, phlegm, more frequent lung illnesses, more
When
frequent.
was the last time you heard me cough?
And
me.
and a higher risk of lung infection, Neil. Researchers still do not know whether marijuana smokers have a higher risk for lung cancer. Wait a minute. Increased heart rates. Marijuana raises heart rates for up to 3 hours.
I did feel my heart racing.
Problems with child development after
But the
after
problem is I
pregnancy.
didn't have marijuana, so what does that mean?
Okay, let me go mental effects, Esty. This is for you. Long-term marijuana use has been linked to mental illness in some users, such as temporary
Bipolar
hallucinations, sensations and images, temporary paranoia,
Nice.
worsening symptoms in patients like
It's so awesome. Some people could just
No,
chill and not care.
Cirrhosis?
Not
What,
cirrhosis.
sclerosis?
a severe
No, but you
mental
should just
disorder.
know, by the way, this paranoia thing.
Well, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts among teens.
So
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
And they're saying marijuana
They
is
won't
addictive.
tell you how many people percentage-wise. Just like how many people. When my kids were all young, we went to Ocean Parkway. We sat down. I gave them each a cigarette,
Oh, God.
and they had to smoke the cigarette.
That's so cute.
And all of a sudden, a lady comes over and says, "What, are you crazy?" And then blah, 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 blah. I said, "No." I said, "Ma'am, I'm going to show them that smoking is stupid. That's what I'm doing."
Do any of them smoke?
Of course not.
Nice.
And they won't even consider it.
Okay, fine. So anyways, this is the Justin Heshy show. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Okay.
No, what
no.
do you want to advertise
Yeah.
the company?
Wait, hold on.
in
Well,
Hello, you're on the air with
Colorado?
Uncle Heshy.
Go
No, in
ahead.
Colorado, they got a guy. He's making 50% of his money, $9 million a year so far,
Wow.
is coming in from drink concentrate.
Dude, we got to do
The
that.
rest is from bars and candy and
Yeah, hey,
whatever.
Norman.
Oh, God.
Hey,
Hey,
two
Norman.
guys.
We got Norman on the phone.
Okay, but I want to talk to Norman. But I like when we have some time. You
Well,
ain't
we're
not
gonna
leaving
keep
any
Norman.
time.
We're gonna keep talking to Norman after the Norman. We're going to commercial break, so we want to put you on hold. We just picked up the call.
The station identification, that only gives us like 40 seconds, but we take 5 minutes. That's it.
Norman, how are you, anyways?
I'm just fine.
Good evening. Oh, he's on
And
the air.
listen,
Okay, good evening.
did you know that marijuana smokers get 35% off their Geico insurance?
You see,
I
Norman,
would buy Geico just for that.
Norman, you're stoned right now,
You
boy.
see, that's why it's good. See,
Yeah,
everybody's
you're
happy.
having one of your hallucinations.
He's happy getting 35% off. They can make the
That's
extra
right.
15%, and that's it.
By the way, Norman, a fact. How does marijuana affect a user's life compared to non-users? Heavy marijuana users, wait a minute, more often report the
Wait,
following.
listen, you
Well,
know
no,
what?
we're going to identification. I want to let you talk.
I'm
I'll let
gonna
you
hold
talk.
on.
You're going to hold on, but I just want to say this one thing. Lower.
Don't say it because it's wrong.
It's about. I mean, say wrong
Don't
things.
say it.
I want
Don't
you to.
say it.
I want you to
because
contemplate it.
You're misinforming.
Okay,
people
just
all
let me
the
just
time,
say.
and you're misinforming.
I'm reading the FDA facts.
Yeah, the FDA.
People don't
FDA
know
and
that.
facts
yeah,
is
yeah.
like, what?
Just contradictory.
By the way,
Oxymoron.
by the way, Neil, I do have a percentage for you that smokers have a higher risk of lung cancer. People who use marijuana
No,
daily,
duh, any smoke's bad for you.
25 to 50% have a very high risk of lung cancer.
Oh, yeah, no,
Okay.
duh. You know, if you tan in the sun, you
Anyways.
have risk of cancer too.
Anyways,
Are you-
we're going.
You know what I heard? I heard if you eat McDonald's, that's not 100% beef, and that's what they
Yeah.
call.
You die from heart attack,
I forgot
diabetes, or a
what
bunch
they
of other
call it.
stuff.
Their meat,
Right.
that pink stuff. Oh God, I
Okay.
forgot.
Not
I
important.
think they
Anyways.
said they're not going to use it anymore. Whatever. But could you imagine they're eating that stuff and that's all acceptable?
Okay, so anyways, we're
My
going to station
goodness.
identification, but I want to say my mid quote, and again, this is one of my own
You
personal
got a mid
ones.
one? Go
I
ahead.
got a mid one. Imagination. Technology can be our best friend, and technology can also be our biggest party pooper of our lives. It interrupts our own story, interrupts our ability to have a thought or a daydream. To imagine something, wait a minute, let me finish. To imagine, I'm going to say the good thing about it. To imagine something wonderful because we're too busy bridging the walk from the cafeteria back to the office on the cell phone. Enjoy life. Enjoy the tools. Not lose yourself in them, but find out how to be better and use them for good. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to the Just Enough Heshy show. And it was entertaining first hour. And
Maybe I should do some commercials.
we're going to do, so ST is going to do our horoscope as well. And we are going to do our trivia thing, ST, which I'm going to make you try to answer, or anybody. And again, we're going to give away our $10 gift certificate to anybody wherever they want to go.
Okay, let us read the horoscope for today. Okay, if today is your birthday, a change of scene will be good for you. This applies to everyone. So if you get an opportunity to travel to some faraway place, you should take it, which is always true. It does not have to be a permanent move. Even a short trip will expand your horizons and make so much more possible, which is true. You change your location, you change your luck. Okay, Aries, that's me. You may not have been serious about a social or political issue in the past, but you are
Oh, God.
but you are certainly serious about it now. You won't rest until you've had your say and made your mark. You could make some money from it too. I am not becoming into politics. Does this apply to someone else?
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay,
yeah,
so now we're talking about our producer in the back, but Norman, we're going to take your call. I just want to, while we're talking to Norman, I want everybody to consider this, and you have our YouTube and our hashtag and our anything that the gmail.com. I want to tell you something. There's a famous saying. Everybody in the whole world knows this saying, Esty. So here it is, and it has something to do with the topic on the history or the timeline. No. Who said in this world nothing can be for certain except death and taxes?
That's a good one. I've heard it before.
Okay, you heard it before.
I don't know who said
they
it.
say it constantly over and over. Who could come up with that? Who could ever come up with that answer gets $10.
What was the beginning one?
Who said for sure? Who said?
The only thing we can be certain is that things are uncertain.
No, nothing in this world is certain.
Besides death
only
and taxes.
Except for death, which is a fact, and taxes. Who came up with that line?
Some people avoid taxes their whole lives, no?
No. You have to, when you buy something in the store, it's taxes.
So yeah, this is the Just Enough Heshy show. If
Give
you'd
us
like
some ads.
Yeah, if you'd like. Oh, okay. So let's. Okay, we have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. You can call us at BL. No. You can call. No, you can reach them at blpremiumesig.com. You can call Mikey at 561-239-5941. If you need a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz is your guy. You can reach him at 347-816-5207. We have Green Line Building Solutions, asbestos, lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift, stop work orders, and free consultation. They'll get you to the finish line. They care. They want to hear your problems. You can go to them just for therapy. I'm kidding. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. Geico, 50 minutes can save you 50% or more on car insurance. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook. Please like our page, Just Enough Heshy. Also go to Twitter, follow us, hashtag Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube. Again, just put in Just Enough Heshy. You can advertise with us or just shoot us an email at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Again, you can call in at 718-303-9090. Hey, Norman, what's up?
What's up, Norman?
Well, this is why I called. I think that the people that educated Heshy, Esty, should be punished.
It's not their fault.
But wait,
I didn't go to school.
Let me say, Esty, it's outrageous that your education is so poor. That certain things that you should definitely know historically were denied to you, and all kinds of other information.
But do I need to know the date? That's what I want to know, because I know the stories.
Listen, Esty, there's certain things that you should know, and you should understand why human beings gave up their lives to protect a contract that was given to the people of the United States, where they have their freedoms. And you got to make sure.
Happy things.
But listen, you got to make sure that your rights aren't taken away, because if your rights are taken away and you're too dumb to even know it, then one day somebody's just going to come by and pick you up and throw you in jail,
or do that either way,
or throw you in a camp because they don't like you. And
there's nothing I can do to prevent it, honestly.
Of course, there's things you could do to prevent it.
And knowing about war won't help me there. I have to know how to fight.
Outrageous that it's outrageous that you don't know who Martin Luther King is.
No, she knows.
Of course I do. I always talk about him. I compare myself to him. I can do what he did and change America.
Oh, you're not comparing yourself to
Yes.
Martin Luther King.
Listen, it's outrageous. There are certain things that you basically should know.
No. I know all the stories. It's not the dates and the names.
Listen. It's good that you're into psychology
and Greek mythology
and
anything
whatever,
not real.
Whatever brings you joy, you should.
By the way, Norman.
Wait. The thing is that if you're a slave to your craft, you'll eventually become its master. So just get into whatever you like.
No, Norman, there's no such thing that you're a slave to its craft. We have to survive.
No, you're a slave to your craft.
Well, I know that, but whatever you need to do to make it through the day, you do. You know what I mean? I have workers, or I have people that I've helped for many years who are ungrateful. I have people that I've saved their butts 20 years ago and given them jobs and come back for money, fired them, they've come back, and what they do is they stand up and spit in your face and they want to hit you. And you know what? I stand here, I take it. Yeah, every once in a while I lose it and I curse them back. But the point is you have to make it through the day, fighting with people, fighting with your clients. Sure you do, Norman. I am not a pot-smoking druggie that walks the streets in the days. Norman, I'm a guy that goes. No, Norman. When I go home at night, I want to sit down in front of, after a hard day's work of praying and doing good. This Saturday, yes, and doing my prayers. This Saturday, I had to go to the hospital and visit somebody, a young boy that I was sitting there. I promised to sit with him a whole day.
How do we get to this conversation?
I'm telling you the conversation.
He just changes the topic.
To make it through the day. Don't tell me to be a slave and enjoy what you got to do.
I didn't say
you need to do
just chill. Everything is chill.
Not chill. Chilling doesn't get you to the end of the line.
Yeah, but it makes you happy.
That's happy. What is happy, SD?
Chilling.
Listen. First of all,
not accomplishment is happy.
Listen, you're not even listening to what I say. For example, I want to be a great guitar player, so I'm a slave to my craft. I practice constantly, and one day I'm going to be the guitar's master. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. I believe in you.
So, that's a good attitude to have. But being denied...
Yeah, but that's wrong, Norman. You want to be good at what you do. You should be using your talents to help other people. You want to do it for yourself. I am good at what I do, but I don't need it for myself. I do it for other people.
Heshy. First of all, if I had the capabilities of being a master guitarist, then I could make millions and millions of dollars. I would help people.
Maybe so. Maybe you won't. Maybe a man.
What do you mean, maybe
I know a lot of great. I know a lot of great actors.
I don't care who you know. I'm telling you who I.
No, but Norman, I know a lot of great actors.
So.
Well, no, yeah, Norman, I know a lot of great actors and musicians. I was sitting in the Schwitz the other day. I know like 10 of them that have gone to college, that have educated themselves. They play great, and they don't even make a living. They're sitting in a little corner there.
See, knowing history doesn't help you.
No, knowing history.
Yes.
Norman, using your craft, being good. One minute, Norman. Using your music is not just to make millions. It's to relieve the pain. You know, when I sit down in front of my TV and I watch the TV, I'm looking at great actors trying to give me a release. Give me a relief. That's why I turn on the TV to take a break from my everyday life. And they are working at their craft to make my life better. I was watching some kind of an award show the other night, and these people came on.
Heshy, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What you're talking about is you're trying to tell me enjoy life. Of course, enjoy life, but life is not made to enjoy.
I didn't. Listen, Heshy, all I meant to say was Esty got a poor education and
She did.
And I have a good life in spite of it.
No, Esty, you don't have a good life. You're 24 years old. That's not a life.
24 years old. Your age makes you not have a life.
And Heshy, there's a lot of things that you say that don't even make sense. You just said that America is a communist country or something like that.
It's not, Norman. It's not, Norman.
Of course not.
Really? We're going over to our enemy, our governor, who I have no idea what he has nothing better what to do with himself. Governor Cuomo is going over with a whole team of people to go meet a communist people. Matter of fact, they have nothing to give us. They have no major exports except for gasoline, Neil. One minute. And we're going to make a deal with a communist country. For what reason? Because our bosses, our leaders in America are forcing us to make peace with our enemy.
Wait a second. Which country are you talking about?
Cuba.
Oh, so you mean to tell me you would rather fight with people, Mr. Love Everybody, and have them maintain as your enemy instead of sitting down and saying, "Hey, let's be friends."
So let me turn the question around. What about Iran? What about Iran?
Wait a second. Wait. I'm not jumping to Iran. I'm not a frog.
Oh.
Wait a second. I'm not a frog. I can't go from one thing to another like you do. So let's take Cuba. Okay, what was Cuba like prior to Castro?
Oh, Cuba was a great place.
Oh yeah? Well, how about all the women were prostitutes? And how about it was the heroin capital of the world?
Oh, so right now you mentioned one minute. Vegas. Wait, Norman. Vegas. Keep going.
And listen. How about no education for the people?
Vegas. Yeah, Vegas. Most of the women there are prostitutes. That's how they make their living.
Well, wait,
drugs run in Vegas.
I'm not. You're telling me about Cuba, and I asked you a question.
You're asking me. This is a call. Woman, that is a leisure. No, that is what you call a vacation time. Go to Dominican Republic. Half of the women there are curvers.
Listen. You just jump and you don't listen.
Yeah, but you're making a point. You're making a point that has no sense to me. You're making a point that you're telling me, hey man, Cuba was good before. Cuba was good before. You're telling me Cuba was good now. Did you see that most of the country, 90% of the Cuban people live in poverty? Do you know that most of the Cuban people...
You know what, Heshy? You know what? Most of the Cuban people are so smart. They're overqualified for any jobs. They're one of the smartest cultures in the world. That's what Castro did. He made sure that everybody and nobody left behind like W. Bush. Everybody in that country is educated to the optimum.
Well, I'm going to go fight. When I go there, I see movies and documentaries of kids running the streets without shoes, not going to school.
You know what? All you see is propaganda and what you want to see because you're a very closed-minded person. You are. You make up nonsense about marijuana and all the problems that it causes, which is nonsense. Why don't you go look and start looking around what's going on with all religious kids and see all of them that are caught up in heroin and cocaine and oxycodone.
And you have that in the Christian religion,
all
the Muslim religion, the
listen.
Jewish religion, the Buddhist. All of them have
Hold
the
on.
same
You know what
problem.
would be hysterical, guys?
You know what? You're not. Just look inside your neighborhood and see what's going on.
I do, my brother. I do. I volunteer with drug rehab.
You don't know anything about anything with drugs.
Really? All I know is
Heshy, it's unfortunate. I wish you did, Heshy. I wish you did have the knowledge, because in certain areas you do have knowledge. In certain areas you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
And listen, I want to ask you one other thing. Did you and Neil ever watch Roger and Me? The Moore show, what's his name? I forget already. About Detroit.
Yeah, I have it written down, by the way. Yeah, I will get to it.
Are you waiting for the movie watching season, Neil?
No, I just didn't have time.
Oh, I see.
But I have it on a paper that I carry in my front pocket.
Yeah.
I thought maybe. I thought maybe you keep it in your wallet with that other thing that men keep in their wallets.
Oh, God.
It's a good day.
Not us, Norman. Norman, thank you for your call. You're wonderful.
Norman.
Neil, you're so much fun, Neil.
Neil, you have to lower our intellectual stimulation.
Oh, it's just a little sense of humor. Please.
Okay.
Thank you, Norman.
But the reality is that a guy like Heshy should have watched last night CNN, Dr. Gupta. He had 3 hours worth of stuff, and it was just wonderful.
Wait, Neil, I have a great idea.
I have a great idea about it.
See,
and he was a man that was against it originally.
Wait, I have a great idea. How about Heshy come in with proof that marijuana should be good, and I'll come in with proof that it's bad, and we'll argue the opposite side.
You won't win.
So I won't win. No, you're going to prove that marijuana is good for you, and I'm going to prove that it's bad for me.
I will not, because I know I can put up a good argument there, and I think it's a wrong argument. It's like you telling me, there was a guy, Norman, thank you for your call. Do you know there was a guy who was just arrested? You're going to love this, Neil. You want to hear this one? There was a guy who went into a bar the other night, and he raped a woman.
What? That's horrible.
Okay, he raped, horrible, terrible. And you know what? The sicko said? You want to hear this, Neil? You know how they caught me? Because they saw my black glasses. Not because nobody cared about him raping, or they followed him, or they saw that he was a sicko. Oh, listen to what he writes. The serial rapist accused of attacking a helpless bar patron in the basement bathroom. He says police say Rodney Strover was caught on video, and not only that, there aren't even black glasses. Strover complained to the Post. He was complaining they caught me because of my glasses. So you talk.
Why is that a complaint?
So this idiot thinks he would have got away with raping a woman because she didn't recognize the glasses. Trust me, most women remember their animal serial rapists.
So anyways, this is the Just Enough Heshy show.
Give me some ads.
We have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com.
Mikey!
Yeah, or call Mikey at 561-239-5941. Geico, 50 minutes can save you 50% or more on car insurance. If you need a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz, located on 16th and 48th. You can call him at 347-816-5207. We have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, and free consultation. They get you to the finish line. They care. They want to help you. Free therapy.
And we know our history. We do our research.
Yep. Remember every date. They'll even remember your birthday.
You know what, Esty?
Wait, you can call them at 718-871-0382.
We had a guy who came into our office today, and he said to me, Heshy, I'm a very religious man. I think he was a Muslim guy. He came into the office, and he said to me, Heshy, the guy came, somebody complained about me having an illegal house. The guy comes and knocks on my door. My wife is all nervous, and she shouldn't have even let him in, but she let him in, and she's a religious woman. She shouldn't have been alone with him, and she lets him into the door, and he walks around the house, and I didn't even know why she let him walk around. He walked around looking for every kind of violation, couldn't find anything. When he gets up to the second floor, he sees a washer and dryer. He says, oh, this is illegal. I know it shouldn't be here. How he knows that, nobody knows. He gives her a violation. That's a serious violation, $2,400 penalty plus permits and plans.
For a washing machine?
Because it's illegally installed a gas washer and dryer it could blow up the house, and it's a hazardous condition.
So why does it exist if you can't
So
have it?
I remember this guy when he had his first violations when he was doing case, and I remember the history and the research I did on his house previously, and I saw and I learned how to properly use the computer and stuff. And I remember that he filed a set of plans in 2007, and he had the washer and dryer there. And showing him this, we went and pulled out his plans and permits, which was by mistake. And I, matter of fact, learned from doing other plans and permits, always put everything on the job that you possibly can. And we did that. And now we're going to go fight his violation by saying, look, not only was the washer and dryer there, this stupid idiot inspector who just for no reason whatsoever tried to punish these people, they just wanted to hurt another citizen.
Wow.
By the way, Esty, I want to tell you a story here. And we're going to pick up Ruth in a second, that Bratton, your police chief, wants to just keep punishing and citizening the people. The building department wants to come up. They're so confused. But let me tell you what, now they're saying they're going to decriminalize. I want to show you how busy our courts are. The courts had felonies like this, open containers. They issued 1.5 million tickets for having an open container.
Where?
34% of them were dismissed, 15 were adjourned, 32 were guilty. 20 of them didn't show up in court, 20% of them, so they were warranted for having an open beer bottle in their hand. Public urination are 350,000 tickets. 26% of the people said, listen, I took a leak. I was in desperate shape. I had to stand on the corner. Now 26% have warrants for them that they can sit in jail overnight. It gets better. Bicycling on a sidewalk. Some idiot cop, 54% of them gets dismissed, 15% didn't show up. Ignoring a parking sign. Listen to this now, Neil. If you ignore a parking sign, they issued 161,000 tickets. 17% aren't warrants, 25% dismissed.
Why are they cracking down?
1 minute, if you walk in a park during the dark, even though it's open, 150,000
I know, I don't
tickets.
get that. Do not leave the door open and tell me I can't go.
Now, wait a minute. Unreasonable noise, 81,000 tickets for unreasonable noise. Of course, 44% of them get dismissed. 6% of the people didn't feel like showing up. And you know what? 6% of the people didn't show up warrants for them. Littering. Do you know littering is a criminal offense in the city of New York? You asked if you throw something out the window of your car, it's a criminal ticket.
It's not a misdemeanor?
It's no. Listen to this.
You just make sure
it could be a misdemeanor and it could be a felony. Hey, if you don't show up, it becomes even worse. 67,000 tickets for littering. And then there's another 3.51 million other kind of tickets. The total criminal court summonses, forget building department violations, forget health department violations, sanitation, fire department tickets, a total of 6.18 million criminal summonses were issued. So our courts are so busy with these idiots that the murderers, the killers, the gangsters, the gang violence.
I guess they don't make as much money as tickets.
Correct, exactly.
That's
and
right.
that's the point that I'm trying to tell Norman and the rest of you need education to make a change. Let's take another phone call.
Yeah, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, Ruth. You're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello, you mentioned who said all you need to do is die and pay taxes?
Yes, who said that in this world nothing can be certain except for death and taxes, Neil? That was my trivia question of the day.
I thought it was Benjamin Franklin.
You are 100% correct. Benjamin Franklin, our new constitution, whatever, Benjamin Franklin, whatever, everything seems to promise it will be, but in this words, so Benjamin Franklin had a whole speech. Our new constitution, when it first came out, is now established. Everything seems to promise it will be durable, but in this world, nothing can be certain except for death and taxes. He was talking about that nothing can stay forever, even America. Hopefully, it'll get better. The source of this often cited quipped is in a letter Franklin wrote to the French scientist Jean-Baptiste Leroy on November 13th.
What about
1789.
Ruth?
Ruth, you get a $10 gift certificate to anywhere you want to eat or go. I'm going to put you on hold, and Abe will take.
1 minute. Is this Ruth that checked up the cataracts with the?
Yes.
Yes. Did you see all the articles?
I saw some of them. I thought that glaucoma and marijuana have something to do, but I didn't check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Neil,
okay, but there's a lot of things. If you would check it out, there's a long list of stuff.
Cool.
Anyways, thank you, Ruth, for your call. You're wonderful tonight. And put her on hold. Put her on hold, Neil. I mean, Abe, take the call and give my girl her finger. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, something that Esty didn't know in the beginning of the show, that hundreds of people gathered yesterday to the 20 years since the Oklahoma City bombing. And why I believe this is an important fact that you little girls and boys, and especially you Hasidic people, should know about. This was a homegrown terrorist, a neighbor, a nice little white boy who was given everything in this country. And for some reason, we have no idea why. I don't even think he was nuts. He just took a bomb, which was very smart, and he blew up a building for no reason. And children got killed. Listen to this one. Not only was I think it was 168 people were injured. There were a bunch of survivors. I'm not sure if you remember the bombing. That killed 168 people and injuring many others. Matter of fact, I was reading a story about 6 kids that survived and they still have issues to this day. And another lady. It's just terrible, Neil. And and we're finding them all the time. I have no idea why somebody wants to hurt somebody else. This is just a bad place. And
right, and they also found that like 50 ISIS cells, they call them.
Yeah.
In many different states.
Yeah, ISIS is learning how to recruit. They're getting better. Neil, I have another question for you. And you get upset with me and Esty about immigration and so on. There was a boat that overturned in the Mediterranean Sea, killing over 700 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
These people wanted a better life for themselves. And the reason why they overturned is because all the governments don't want migrant workers or illegal immigrants. What do you mean illegal? It's one
No,
world.
it's because they overload the boat.
The reason why they overload the boat is because they're making...
They got paid.
They get paid, and because there's no way to get into the country legally, and these illegal sailors know how to do it. And my point is why isn't this one world? Why can't we go wherever we want to go? Why can't we do whatever we want to do? Stop this.
Yep.
There should be no such thing as an illegal immigrant anywhere.
Yeah, what makes you one country versus a different country? Like, you know, I
What
can be
are
French.
borders for?
There should be no borders. You see how
Borders
Europe,
is who rules
you see
the
how
land.
Dominic, no, Europe has no borders anymore. You can go from one country to the next
Yeah,
without
they
being
have
stopped.
trains, everything.
But
Yeah.
the bottom line is we are a world with borders.
Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, you know what?
Why does it suck?
You
Saudi Arabia has that border.
Right.
Israel has theirs. Jordan has theirs. America should have theirs. Canada should have
But
theirs.
why?
Because that's just a
aren't
setup.
we one people?
No.
We're not aliens. We're not from another planet. We're not animals. We are one. We're human beings. Our blood can be transfused to another blood, whether you're black, white, Chinese, yellow, green, red.
No.
Everybody's blood works for everybody else, doesn't it, Neil?
Guess so.
I can give you my heart if it matches your body. I can give you
You
bone.
always give me your heart.
I do give you my heart. I do give you my heart.
Aw.
Neil is my boy. Anyways, just like now, I'm going to jump onto another subject because you guys are not interested in that subject of 700 human beings being killed and
I don't like
chased.
focusing on tragedies. Is that so bad? It's
But
just-
shouldn't you know
it's
that? As,
uncomfortable. It's
do you
sad.
know-
I'd rather be happy.
really, SD, just like guns.
Focus on the
No,
good,
but
not the
why
bad.
don't we have a legal system on how to work it
We
out?
try because you need enough. You know what? Look at this one. There's a guy by the name of Senator Menendez. Remember this retard?
He's in trouble, man.
He's in trouble now. So there were 2 models that had to get into the country and they couldn't get in. Senator Bob Menendez got them into the country to be hookers for somebody else. So if you have the power, you get in. If you're a loser migrant worker sitting on a boat,
I actually just
You're
heard
gonna- you're gonna
that
suffer.
slavery has like been up since a long time. Like the 2 places are, I think, upstate New York. Actually, people get kidnapped because they're desperate for money or something. They sign away their passports and they get shipped to. Also, people from Cambodia. That slavery is really up these days.
human trafficking.
Yes.
Yes. That's been around a long time. That's a bad thing. And there's nothing, nobody cares about it because our cops are too busy issuing 6.5
I'm gonna care about
million-
it.
Yeah, you're going to care about it. 6.5 million
I'm gonna adopt a
tickets.
bunch of slaves.
Okay, stop, Esty. Stop talking to me crazy.
What? It'll be good
No,
for them.
but it is an issue.
Yeah.
It
people don't-
is a real issue, and nobody really gives a damn.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna adopt them, so it's all gonna be okay. The look you're giving me, wow. So yeah,
Anyways, Esty, what show are we listening to?
the Just Enough Heshy Show. Like us on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy, Heshy. Also, we're live on YouTube. You can go to Twitter, hashtag JustinFHeshy, and you can email us at justinfheshy@gmail.com.
That's it.
On Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can call us at 718-303-9090.
Oh, by the way, Esty and Neil, you know that we're going to be on another show this week. They're inviting us on to something called Zeno Radio. Zeno Radio. We're going to be on at 4:15. It's an internet radio. You have to go to zenoradio.com. It's an internet station, and they're giving us an hour to spew I should spew my ranting and raving.
And us, no?
And you. Well, I don't know what ranting you're going to be doing. Anyways, there were 20 people shot in the city of New York
over the weekend.
And you guys defending these gun dealers, defending their guns should be illegal.
Them. We're just saying there's no way to get rid of it. We're not defending them.
So somebody in my car was telling me today we should put the fingerprint thing on. Neil, you brought that up last time.
I hate fingerprinting.
No, but not fingerprinting. If you buy a gun, it could only be used by your fingerprint.
Oh, that is brilliant.
The problem is it'll take about 1,000 years to get rid of all the guns that didn't have it till now.
Still, it's progress. That's a good idea.
Right. If your fingerprint is not implemented into that gun when it's bought, it can never be used again, ever. Same thing that I believe that, they implemented with drunk drivers. If you get arrested for drunk driving even once, you cannot ever drive your car without doing a blow test.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And the car can't start. And every couple of hours, or if you're driving a long term, every hour or two, you have to blow in, or the car shuts off.
I don't know about every hour.
And that's another little problem that I have. Over the weekend, there was a story in this sports lady, ESPN sports lady, that she parked her car in a restaurant.
Who parked their car on my sandwich?
Anyway, she parked her car in the restaurant, and some bad towing company, with an F rating, towed her car away. Now, you're going to say to me, oh, she parked her car illegally there. She ate in the restaurant. She went for a drink. She couldn't drive home. It's the responsibility of these places not to let you drive home. Instead, they told her, get your car off the lot. If you don't, your car will be towed. She couldn't drive home. She went home. The next morning, she came back for a car. They towed it. She went to the towing place, and she got a little angry, and she made fun of the lady behind the counter, called her fat and ugly and missing teeth. My question...
So mean.
Okay, because she was angry. They towed her car illegally with an F rating. And you know what? These companies, they make more money than the city. The marshals last year, I think, pulled in $500 million.
So we got to make them lose money every time they give a violation or a ticket.
Correct. And they should be advising us how to fix the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand is why would you have to pay a violation? Like where does the concept, like a punishment, but then they keep the money? Like, how does that make sense rationally or morally?
Right. And they can now take away.
Shouldn't they not get money, or they'd have to donate it to the poor or something? Like, oh, hey, we're going to fine you and then keep the money. How does that seem very shady?
He's just pulling in money. He's like his last predecessor, the Nazi Bloomberg, just torching and doing.
I didn't know. The only thing I like about Bloomberg is he raised the cigarette prices.
Do you understand?
I found one person that quit so far from cigarettes for that reason.
You know about the 6 million tickets that were issued? These are criminal summonses. That means you have to show up in court with a lawyer. So even though your fine is $50 or $100, your lawyer is going to cost you $500. You have to take off a day from work. That's another $100 or $200. And you're talking that it just keeps getting worse and worse, because at the end of the day, if you don't show up, you go to jail, then bail, yes. And you're looking 2 more days of work. And these 6 million tickets, which that I'm looking at somewhere around, what was it, about 20% of the people, 15 to 20% of the people have open warrants for not showing up, for throwing a pack of cigarettes out the window, or for having loud music, or for taking a leak on the street.
We just don't have patience for the government. They're acting like children, and we just don't have patience. Like, okay, yeah, you want me to come in? No. Just like, no. Let's take a phone call.
Okay, take a phone call.
Yeah, this is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can reach us at 718-303-9090.
I'm going to take a bite of my pizza.
Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hey, what's doing?
I'm asking, actually, do you dream about these concepts, or like, are you bored during the day? Like, what do you come up with, like, with such a thing like a world without borders? Like, seriously, like, is it like when you're drunk, or when you're like sitting on a beach, or what do you think about these crazy things?
I have a very simple question for you, my son. When you walk down the street, where do you live, in Borough Park, Crown Heights?
Yeah, Borough Park, yeah.
Okay, so now you're walking down the street in Borough Park, and you see a synagogue, right? A nice synagogue on, let's say, 45th Street and 14th Avenue, where I go to shul.
I know you're right.
Wait. Let me finish my little dream make-believe story. I walk into the synagogue. We welcome you with open arms, even though you're a chassid or you're a modern guy, even if you're not religious. Wait. Now you become a member of our synagogue. Now you go and you walk to the next synagogue. Hey, maybe you shouldn't come to our synagogue because you're a member of that synagogue. Why do we need big borders? Why don't we have little borders? I have a better idea. Since you live in Borough Park, who gives you permission to leave Borough Park? Why even dare leave our neighborhood, go to Crown Heights? Who allows you into the next state? Come on, man. This is a one world. No guns, no drugs. Wait. I'm going to let you talk. No guns, no drugs, no borders.
I'm with you if the world will be like that. But let me ask you, how do you think if, let's say, Israel wouldn't have borders? Well, realistically, what do you
Israel's
think?
the only one who needs it.
Really?
The reason why Israel has borders is because all the Arab countries have borders. If there was no
bingo. No. When was the last time that you heard Jewish people blowing themselves up?
Can I ask you?
Jewish people recruited to other people.
We blew up.
Yes,
you didn't read about Jewish history when before the country was born. There was a lot of Jewish terrorists. That blew themselves up.
Tell me the last 7 years. How many stories? You tell me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one that one guy killed Rabin, our president of Israel, right?
Okay, that's an isolated incident.
Isolated. And you're telling me Israel. Israel has no murders, no rapes, no nothing within its own people.
Yeah, but you're mixing it up. It's not. It's when Arabs. I'm not saying everybody. Again, I'm not generalizing, but every day you see from Afghanistan, from Libya, they have no peace between themselves. How could they be? Forget about Jews. With any, you see a lot of Muslim people. They come to America, which is a free country. Everybody is entitled to free will.
These are people, the Arabs and even the Jews. These are young Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. I know you think they're Persian countries. 2000. They're all brand new countries. 70 years old, and they're in the learning process. Remember, America, after 100 years, had a civil war. The whole Europe, after hundreds of years, white Europe had a world war between themselves. And I'm not talking Germany against the world. Italy picked this German side. Japan picked the German side. What else? There was a third country over there.
I don't understand. What is coming over? You see these people, they're not used to freedom. They cannot live in freedom. Yesterday, again,
it is our job to teach our fellow neighbors to do good.
No, it's kind of like Stockholm Syndrome.
We have no Western civilization. You cannot live like this. Well, let me ask you, the Jews were oppressed when they came back from the Holocaust. All the Afghans did, they came, all they wanted to do is build their families, have a decent life, work hard. That's all what they wanted, because they're human beings. You understand it? I'm not saying everybody.
You know how many Muslims and Arabs are. You know how many Muslims and Arabs in this world exist, and most of them are good.
1.4 billion.
Okay, and you have a couple of idiots. What do you want me to do? What is it? What is it? Not even one. If I remember correctly, it was less than 1% of 1%. What was it, Neil? That are the terrorists and the crazy leaders that forced.
Sorry, still too much.
Well, we have that in every nation. We have that in every country that causes. Can I tell you something even better? You know what?
Let me ask you, Heshy. A Jewish person, can he walk with his yarmulke in France? Could he walk with his yarmulke in Sweden?
I read that stupid. I watched that video and read that stupid report. You have 300,000 Jews in. You have 300,000 Jews in France. You had one Israeli reporter that got attacked by some loser.
There's everything. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wake up, Heshy. How many Muslims live between us and Borough Park? We never curse them. We never spit at them. We never come gladly on 13th Avenue. That's why they live it. It feels so comfortable. Think about it, Heshy. Go over, because we have nothing against anybody. Let us live and we let you live. They don't go like that. Look at the Yemen what's going on. Look what all these.
So you're happy with the world today?
I'm not happy, but wake up. Be realistic.
Neil,
Be realistic. What's going on in Libya? What's going on in Yemen? What's going on in Egypt? What's going on in Afghanistan? Why? Why all these Muslim countries? I'm asking you a question.
And I'm going to answer you. Why do we have cancer? Why do we have AIDS? Why do we have...
You're getting off subject.
I'm not getting off subject. Do you know that I would believe? I want to give you a great idea, Neil, and I want to tell you something. Well, let me just tell you one idea. What happens if all the Arab countries and Israel become? Wait. Let me finish my idea. Would it not be cool that if all the Arab countries and Israel combined to be one? Do you not think that that whole continent would be a superpower in itself? Just imagine if those.
You know why? Because it would kill every Jew possible.
I don't believe so.
Oh, you're crazy. You are so crazy.
Right now, there's a lot of crazies out there. I'm saying if they made peace. There's
no peace. You don't understand it. That's the problem. You do not understand. There's no such a peace. There's no peace. Arab hates a Jew.
Do you believe you're ever going to die? Oh, what happened? You hung up on him?
No.
Okay. Well, that was an interesting conversation. And
what's it called? They say
I don't know how you got hung up, but you're welcome to call back. I apologize.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened over there.
He was saying how, they're not used to this country. They might not be able to live here and fit in, right? They say actually in Egypt, right? They were 40 days in the desert, and they didn't go into Israel until a certain generation died. Until all the people who came from Egypt died. Basically, it was their kids that went into Israel because they were so used to being slaves, they didn't know how to live any other way. Their mentality couldn't be changed.
Neil, I don't know. What do you say about that?
He was out.
Yeah. That's what I say.
I don't know. Neil is bored with our subject, Neil, what subject can I entertain you in? Anyways,
So, Heshy, what's your worst fear? Do you have one?
You want to know my
spiders, clowns?
No, I have no fear. My worst fear, let me tell you what my worst fear is. Are you ready?
Bugs.
I was reading a story in, I think it's India, that they have no water, Neil. You know that?
That's your worst fear?
We run out of water. Yeah, you run out of water, you're dead.
We need water.
And there is a wonderful woman. You're gonna love this. I have this printed out. It's like shocked me when I read this. Somebody went into a movie theater and they gave out bottles of water, Neil.
No.
The cute thing about the bottles of water is it couldn't open up. You couldn't open they sealed the bottles that 99% of the people couldn't open the water. And then the screen came up and says, what happens if you couldn't drink water?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they come up with this report, and then they tell you all about this story. I'm going to tell you about that. In a place, where is it? Listen to this. 12 million people in the city of São Paulo, Brazil. You know where São Paulo, Brazil? Everybody thinks you see the beautiful television shows and how fancy this city is. And I think they're going to have the World Cup over there or the Olympics over there. There's 12 million people, Esty, that are going to be running out of water. 12 million people that are going to die. They live in slums, shanty town located on the outskirts of Brazil, of its largest cities. Many of the people who live in São Paulo are impoverished and don't have access to the basic needs like water, Esty. If you wouldn't be able to drink every day, you would die.
Yep.
That's more than the number of people in New York City, about the same number of people that live in Illinois and in Pennsylvania, more than the number of people in Greece. Exact numbers aside, there's a lot of people who don't have the proper drinking water or water to flush their toilets or wash their clothing. There was one wonderful woman. She's trying to help out with the water shortage. And I can't read her name, but I'm going to tell you what her idea is. She came up with a brilliant idea, and she's working all over. She uses 4 steps. She takes PVC pipes to collect rainwater from the ceiling. Water from the ceiling. But then she takes mosquito nets and puts them in that water. Yuck again. Then she uses a second pipe that filters the water out and puts it in a 200-liter barrel. This becomes filtered water. So, look, a simple idea. And what happens if the water barrel gets too full? You then have a secondary pipe or a third pipe to prevent the overflow. And there you have it. A barrel with usable water that starts out as water dripping from a ceiling with mosquitoes. A simple solution. You got to use your brain, Esty. You got to be able to learn from history how to use the rainwater, how to come up with an idea and make people happy. 12 million people are going to die, and she's saving their lives. This is a wonderful lady. Yeah, of course, you have to cook the water later and so on. So that's why these are ideas that we have to learn from history. And you can pick up Yurli to call.
This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Yurli, we did not hang up on you, so keep screaming at us. Go ahead.
Before I go further, Heshy, let me say this. I wish you would be right. I don't hate nobody. I have nothing against anybody, but you got to be realistic in life. Now, let me ask you a few questions, actually. Seriously. Was there an attack in the Kosher Grocery in Paris?
Yes.
Was there an attack in the cafe in Melbourne, Australia?
Yes.
Was there an attack in the Jewish Museum in Brussels?
Yoeli, Volvi, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was there a shooting in Brooklyn downtown killing 3 little boys? Was there a shooting in the Bronx that killed 4 people and a little girl? I'm not wait. Let me keep going. And I'm not talking France, Paris, and I'm talking black people. So you're talking all black people are being discriminated against because of other black people? Oh, maybe we should stop the gangs. You're right, they're terrorists. You're right, you're right, they went after the Jews. And you know what? A lot of people go after the Jews and a lot of people go after the black people. I was sitting many times in meetings when they use racial what is it called, Neil? Epithets, whatever, against black people, Chinese people. I hear people calling other people racial names. And I sit over there and I'm disgusted.
See, there's different things. So many curses out there. That's different things. When you go and you plan and you deliberate and you sit, oh, I'm going to kill that Jew. That's different. But you're on the road with all that.
Really? Did you not read about ISIS now killing 40 Christians?
Ice cream.
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not singling out Jews. I'm saying when you kill somebody just because they're not of your religion, that's a sick thing, and you cannot live with these people.
Right.
Most of the people that get killed in Bronx, it's a terrible tragedy. But they're not singled out all because they're black, because they're Puerto Rican, because they're probably either in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they're involved in shooting, or whatever. In drugs and gangs, those kind of stuff. 90% of the shooting.
No, they're singling them out because they're related to one of them. They want to make a point.
Yeah, but not because of their ethnicity or because of their religion. I mean, come on, that's 2 different things.
I had an employee that I took care of for many years, and he threatened to beat me up, which I laughed at him. He threatened to beat me up. Why? Because the man is an ungrateful person, and he came to signal me out. That's the way it works. They come after you not because they're just jealous and because they want to take from you. We have to learn to give. That's why, again, America,
Are you for real now? The Muslims, they want we should give them. They want to kill you. I don't understand.
No.
What are you saying? Again, I'm not saying everybody.
I don't want to knock or build up Hamas or anybody. But you know, when Arafat finally straightened out his act, for a couple of years, the Palestinian country was very peaceful with America. Under Arafat's control, and he wasn't a bad tyrant. He did steal a lot of money from them, but Israel was pouring in money. The world was pouring in money. They were building their roads. They were building their people's lives up. They were doing a lot of stuff. And Neil, Palestine was becoming a better place. You're right. After Arafat died, new leaders came in and they started to hurt their people.
It's nonsense. Again, I'm not saying everybody.
Neil is getting bored.
Everybody. Matter of fact, in my business, I deal with a lot of Palestinian Americans, which most of them are good people. I always tell them, let's put my politics aside. We're here in America, doesn't matter. Again, I don't discriminate. Most of my time I spend is with minorities, with African Americans, Latinos. So I know what you're saying. But when you're discriminated against, whether in France, in Belgium, which these are, again, all these people that come over there are looking for a better life. And when you have it, and you still go attack other people, could you imagine what it would be like if it would be without borders? Just think for a second. Think for a second if you're a Jewish person living in Belgium, and every time you come to school, you take your son to kindergarten, you see people with M16s. Is that a normal thing?
You know what?
Why do you have to go so far? Well, how about if his neighbor would just step on his property? He would go crazy.
Hey, you know what? When I was growing up, I used to walk through Bensonhurst, and I used to be scared to walk down certain streets because the Italians used to chase me with the dogs. And you're talking only 1970s, 1980s. You're talking.
Again, there's always going to be hate in this world, so don't kid yourself. But we're talking about shooting and killing and planning and deliberating, stuff like that. I mean, that takes days and months.
You know what? I want to ask you a question. I know you don't remember, you're a young man, but if you would have learned, if you learned from history, which Esty doesn't want to learn from history, in the 1920s and 30s.
Yeah, I'm not that old.
Okay, yet. I know that. The 1920s and 30s, we had animals like Bugsy Siegel, Meyer Lansky, Charlie Luciano. You had people walking down the street. not the Jewish gangsters are telling you, walking down the street, shooting and taking for themselves their religion. And you have the mafia today. The mafia doesn't discriminate. They just go around killing people, even if you're innocent, if you don't pay them. My point being is we always have animals, but,
come on, Heshy.
but over the
There's
70
always stories,
years,
but we're talking about
our country
every
has
single
grown
day,
up.
Heshy. Come on. Whether it's Libya, Yemen, Egypt, every single day. Come on, don't be so naive.
Okay.
There's more Christians than Muslims. When was the last time you heard a Christian guy killed a Muslim guy? Are you going to tell me that you heard 17 years ago in a cafe or something, whatever? I mean, come on, this is daily occurrences. Read the news. It's every single day what happens. There's a certain issue in Muslim society. Again, not all. Majority not. Do not get me wrong.
Okay.
But the percentage is too big.
Yeah,
and we cannot tolerate it, and we cannot let them have open borders. That's
Well,
it.
Bobby, Neil is getting bored with the subject. We have to change our
we're
subject.
just stuck between a rock and a hard
Let's
place.
still be peace, but you gotta be realistic, alive. That's it. May Hashem protect us all. Have a good night.
Good night, my brother. Good night. Good night.
Amen.
Yo, man.
Amen.
Yeah, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. Wait, sorry, what? Heshy's busy eating pizza.
99.
Go ahead, Esther.
Okay, fine. If you are looking for an electronic cigarettes, you want the Black Label electronic cigarettes, just go to blpremiumesig.com. It'll help you stop smoking. You can reach Mikey at 561-239-5941. If you need a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz is your guy, located on 16th and 48th. You can reach him at 347-816-5207. We have Green Line Building Solutions. They help you with your asbestos and lead inspection, DOB violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, stop work orders.
I don't know what Esther's doing. She's making fun of my place, Neil. You're letting her get away with it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm hearing.
She must have smoked something good.
She smoked something very good. Did you? It's April 20th.
420, yeah.
A holiday for marijuana.
Isn't that sweet? Sorry, I just heard snoring in the background. Sorry. They lift stop work orders. They do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. You can get us on Facebook, hashtag Twitter. We're live on YouTube. Just go to Just Enough Heshy at, anything. And our email is justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can reach us at 718-303-9090. Right. So, again, I was asking, what is your worst fear?
My worst
Neil?
fear
is running out of Kit Kat.
Not out of Kit Kat. Penny believes.
I don't know. I need some
Penny,
sugar.
Penny
I feel like
says,
I need sugar.
Penny says my worst fear is running out of pizza with double cheese sandwiches.
Yeah. My worst fear is freaky faces. Like when someone is like mad, insane, and like his face is like distorted in like mania, it scares me because there's no limit. Like they don't even like you, like they don't even know you, but their last breath they'll try to kill you for just like no reason except that they're insane.
Yeah, they are. There are
like,
a lot of people like that.
Yeah, like the Joker from Batman. Like I was terrified of him as a kid. But, so yeah, I think what was his name? Jack Nicholson, maybe. He was
Jack Nicholson was the new Joker. My real Joker.
No,
was
the old Joker. The one,
who was the old Joker? He was a good
basically,
Joker.
he falls down from a building and he's still laughing, even though he's like dead. And it's like, ha, ha, ha. It was very scary. I'm not good with it. And I'm also afraid of sharks in pools. And
what
in the
happened
ocean.
to Superman?
Superman. What do you mean what happened to him? He's never been in existence, but what are you saying? What happened?
No, he got hurt, and then what happened?
Oh, Christopher Reeve?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? He was Superman.
Yeah,
Anyways, can I tell you something? Do you know that there was a ship called the Titanic many years ago? Here we go. Esther does it. Esther,
of course I do. You know why? Because I'm informed of movies. What do you mean? Star Wars, I watch because it's like people reference it.
What happened with the Titanic?
Hold on, but people reference.
No. Stop
No. People reference it from movies, so I watch it. The Titanic, they hit an iceberg. They did not have enough lifeboats because they didn't think it could sink.
So why didn't everybody just go into the water and swim away?
It was ice cold. It was like
right.
Is the Arctics or something?
Right. But why did they I understand many boats go to the Antarctic? Why did it crash into an iceberg, Neil?
Yeah,
I think they thought they were able to turn in time.
Who was at the wheel? Somebody smoking pot.
No, they didn't have pot back then. I'm kidding. They had pot since the beginning of time.
Anyways, there was a
that Leonardo DiCaprio's in that movie.
But can I tell you a funny thing? Titanic deck chair. There was a deck chair. a stupid deck chair from the Titanic, and it's sold for massive sums. The only time a chair is worth more than a Maserati is when it comes from the Titanic. A simple deck chair that was pulled from the ship more than a century ago. It was pulled from the ship.
That is interesting.
It's considered one of the rarest collectibles. It just sold at an auction for $115,000.
Wow.
Wait a minute,
Oh.
and it's too fragile to sit in.
It's just for looks. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at my chair. It's from the Titanic.
Anyways, now I want to talk about life. There's a
Love and the
very
Pursuit of
famous
Happiness.
captain. There's a famous captain. It's called The Deadliest Catch. There's a television show.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I never
That-
understood the point of it.
There's a
Yeah.
Deadliest show where they go out
I
catching
was hoping you
fish.
were talking about Captain Crunch. Or
No,
something.
but there's a.
Did you ever notice his eyebrows are on his hat?
So listen to this story. This guy, this captain says every time he goes out to sea, he's always scared that he might not come back. So he says that when he was a little boy, he was on a boat that came back into town. And he went out to sea, Neil, and he came back into town. And as he came back, usually everybody goes home after a boat, right, Neil?
Mhm.
What he did was he quickly jumped on another boat and says, I'm going back out to sea. I want to get a quick job. As he jumped on the boat, he sprained his leg.
Okay.
So he went to the captain. He says, Captain, look, my leg is swollen, but it's bad luck, but I'm still going to go. He says, no. He says, please, you can't stay in He tried to talk the captain into staying on the boat. Captain says, no, I can't have it like this. The boat disappeared to sea and was never seen again.
Wow.
So he was lucky that he didn't die. So you see, life is funny. Life leads you in many
Have you ever
different
checked out
directions.
the Bermuda Triangle?
You know what? I was reading that there's something called even worse than this Bermuda Triangle, Neil. There's some lake in Canada,
Off
a
of Maui?
big body of
Sorry.
water in
Yeah.
Canada where a lot of UFOs are underground. I know you're gonna laugh at me, but the government has UFO facilities underground water.
Yeah,
Where
but,
else can you hide a UFO?
oh, like actual UFOs, or like they're looking for like
I
officers to
think
help
the
them find
actual
it?
UFOs plus the government has underground UFOs, some kind of facilities.
Don't worry.
Right, but the Bermuda Triangle, right? Like, is that where the stones go up and down, and like you
No.
can't get past it?
No.
No.
So what is the Bermuda Triangle? People keep disappearing, but nobody knows why.
No, planes crash. Neil, what is it, Neil?
That's what it is. It's right near that,
Some kind of a pole or
no,
magnetic?
that, what do you call it? One of the government test sites
Yeah.
or something,
Did
whatever.
you know you can buy your own island?
and they
have
say
those?
people, planes disappeared. Okay.
Or the
And it
underwater
happens
hotel.
to be in that area.
Wait, you ever heard of the underwater hotel?
Neil, a lot of planes
Yeah.
do fly over there and don't crash, Neil.
I guess they don't fly completely
Neil.
over it.
Yeah, no, because not all planes disappear from there.
I heard it. They do.
No, it's
I
only
don't know,
one
some.
and whatever. When they need good news. It's when it's a slow news day.
Anyways,
they
Neil-
have one disappear.
Neil, did you like not sleep last night?
Neil is bored, falling asleep
He's
on
not
the show.
bored. I think he's just so
You
tired.
callers didn't
I'm
entertain
tired.
my Neil tonight. Neil, and that was the problem. Neil was up all night. I don't know what he was
I
doing.
need sugar.
We need sugar.
I need
Sugar.
sugar.
How does he get
There's no
sugar?
sugar.
Then he
here.
shouldn't have eaten pizza.
Oh, yeah. What? No, it's
Doesn't
not.
pizza have sugar with the bread in it?
No,
For
it's,
sure,
I
but it
think
takes
has
a while
cheese,
to
which
Takes
makes
a
you
while to make
sleepy.
Anyways, the Republican Party is against gay marriage.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just don't get why they bother.
So, and it's against them to even
You
legalize.
know, gay used to mean happy.
Okay.
You know what?
It's in a Disney movie.
I don't think any of the people running for election should be allowed to talk about abortion
Or gay marriage.
or gay marriage.
Well,
Take
I agree.
that out of the
So, one minute,
equation.
Marco
Take
Rubio.
it out.
Hold on, Marco Rubio, this guy running for president, this new guy, being gay is not a choice. Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio says he does not believe sexual orientation is a choice for the enormous majority of people. The Florida senator comments came Sunday on CBS Face the Nation, where he said that it should be up to the states rather than the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court's going to rule on it, to define marriage that he considers, but he considers marriage to be between man and a woman. Neil, what do you consider marriage to be between?
Oh wait,
man and
I just heard the story that a photographer got sued because they didn't want to take pictures of a gay.
No,
a gay
a
couple.
cake lady got sued, Neil.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah,
But recently, it was a
yeah,
photographer.
yeah.
They didn't want to, and they got sued for it, which is crazy because just because you want to be gay does not mean you can inflict your like
But I want to
orientation
show you.
on other
I want to
people.
show you how the change, Neil, the change in American idea. He says that he and other Republican president hopefuls have faced questions in recent days about their positions on same-sex marriages, as the nation's top court prepares for what is expected to be a broad ruling on constitutionality on the issue. Americans, Neil, support the right of same-sex couples to wed 55% to 42%. American has changed in the last 22 years, Neil.
You know, we wouldn't be so against it, except that what's going to happen after that? Let's say it's all legal. Then if you don't do cakes, you should have the right to not service people,
Neil.
for no matter if it's racist.
No, I'm just saying. I hear you.
No, but Neil.
But I disagree with
laughing
this.
for eternity.
But you believe that gays should get married or not get married?
I believe they should be serviced. I don't believe it should be called a marriage.
But you think
but
a
they should have all the benefits of the marriage and all of that.
Wait, do you
but it's
think
not a marriage.
So my question to you is, if somebody went over to you, say, hi, Neil, and they asked this question to Rubio, he said, if somebody you cared for was having a gay marriage, would you go to it?
Sure.
And now they say, hi, Neil, my best friend, we'd like to call you up to make a blessing.
Sure.
You would go up in a gay marriage against your own principles. I know you'd have to attend it, but
What I mean, give a blessing like be happy? Is that like bad?
No, bless, like they're doing a Jewish wedding or a Christian wedding and they're saying, Neil, make a blessing for the couple.
Make a blessing, no.
You would do that? You're allowed to?
Why not?
I don't know if you're
Every
allowed to.
Jew deserves a blessing.
Your father was a rabbi. If he heard you say this, he'd turn
But
up.
every Jew deserves a blessing.
Even if he's
Ask Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach.
right.
He'll tell you.
You know that
Do I care about this, that? It's none of my business.
Wow.
Give him a blessing.
Okay. Okay.
He's a brother. She's a sister.
Okay.
Brother.
Come on.
If that's the way you want to do it, no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah. I wish more people would think like that.
Anyways, we're coming to the end of the show, Neil. Now you can go to nap and sleep and snore into the thing.
All right.
And I'd like to give my closing quote of the night. Are you ready, Neil?
Ready or not? Here we go.
But don't snore into the mic. Ready?
Okay.
Defeats, and we were talking about this before. Before success comes in any man's life, he's sure to meet with much temporary defeat and perhaps some failures. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and the most logical thing to do is quit. That is exactly what the majority of men do. Is that true, Neil? So
Yes.
my advice to you people out there today,
Don't quit.
don't quit. Don't give up. Don't do the easy thing in life. Don't do the easy thing in life. Life has too much to give you and to enjoy. Thank you for listening to the Just Now Heshy Show. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody. Come back and join us.
All right. All right.